Yeah. Is this thing on? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's go, baby. Big pump for Bitcoin last night. Big pump for Bitcoin this morning. We just got into a long. It did hit this one point of rejection. 52,800 seemed to be the topping out point for now, but we'll see. I did close my trade in profit. I hope you did. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to break down where I was, how I got into the trade, and I'm going to teach you guys a thing or two about a thing or two. Maybe you guys could teach me a thing or two about a thing or two. You ever have an eyelash in one of your eyes? You know, and you know you have one. It's like right, and it's just there, and I just got to I think I got it. Usually I get it, but okay. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on it. Appreciate each and every one of you. Babe, could I have some water? I forgot my water this morning. So sorry. Make a pregnant woman go down the stairs to get your water? Horrible person. I should be cast. You know that hole in the 300 where they, sorry. No, sorry. Don't. Sorry. That's not right. That's not right. Anyway, let's start the show. Let's get it in. Shout out to everybody here. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Let's break. Sorry. The stuff I say makes me laugh. It's not right. Let's get the music back up and running. Shout out to everybody here on the live. This is Sparta. Away with him forever, Yeah. Shout out to After Hours Investing, Life for Adam, Bruce Gaines, and everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Shout out to Escape Path and Sean with that pin message. Sean, we love you. We appreciate you. Shout out to everybody here on the stream. Shout out to Jamie. Shout out to Kochi, the whole team, and everybody out there. Shout out to Jay editing his fingers away there. God bless everybody here. Thank you so much for the lime. We're liming out this week. We decided to just switch it up on you guys. You're like, what happened? Now he's lime? It really is lemons. I don't know if limes have the same properties, honestly. I've never looked it up. You would assume so, but, there's always these slight differences in fruits and things and such. Anyway, Bitcoin had a nice pump. Went back above. The key resistance is 52.2. We stay above 52.2. We seem to have created a little bit of support at 52.6. We're going to break it down. We're going to go all in and out. We're going to go from the weekly back to the, you know how we do. Sorry, I'm breaking a horrible rule. It's always and never when you're wearing a two-piece, okay? Sometimes, always, and never, all right? If you had 3 on, okay, it would be sometimes, always, and never, but 2 is always and never. Could never have the bottom button buttoned. If you walk around like this, all right, I just did it. Now there's a picture of me doing it. Now I just cooked myself for the rest of my life because now people are going to be like, look, he did it, and I'll never be able to say I wasn't doing it because it'll be a picture. I'm done. To the hole. Back to the hole again. All right, let's go. Shout out to everybody here. Let's keep it moving. I don't know what's bringing up this funny business today, but I'm just, I guess, in a comedic mood. All right, Bitcoin. As you can see, Big Red, the joke we have in the trading group, right? Big Red's up here, sitting at 53,200. Shout out to BOOKMAP. The team at BOOKMAP provides you with a beautiful data set showing you an APY of what's happening in the markets, okay? So I can see where the whales are hiding. This guy wants to sell a bunch of Bitcoins at 53,200. He's the biggest order I can see on the whale book here. So, again, doesn't mean we're definitely going there. Nothing is 100% in trading. It could be spoofed. It could be taken away. But I've been using this for years now, and you guys can see over and over again. Of anyone that uses BOOKMAP, I probably use it more than anyone else in the entire YouTube. I'm here every single day, twice on the weekends. That's multiple streams, hours and hours. I probably have more hours of BOOKMAP on stream than anyone's ever used the program. Possibly, maybe not, but it's likely, right? We're up there. So shout out to BOOKMAP, shout out to the team. And if you can see here, big order books here at 53,200. That's telling me that we might go up and eat there. And so I don't like to catch myself in between a big order like that. So I personally wouldn't like to short. I might make a little scalp short or something like that, but I wouldn't be making a big time short anywhere in that vicinity if my TA also backed up something of that nature, all right? If you want to join the trading group, jump on in, hit the link right here to CryptoLifer.com. I'm about to lace you with some insanity why maybe you might want to join the trading group. And yes, I am a salesman of my own product, but I put out this trade yesterday on Valentine's Day. It was beautifully tight in the center. I said, man, it's only a matter of time this thing's going to burst. It got tighter and tighter. When it got there, I said, man, there has to be a move for Bitcoin. We went long with the stop loss right there. Very simple. Again, My trades are so simple. I show them day in and day out, over and over and over and over again. It doesn't matter. And bang, this thing banged to the upside for a beautiful trade last night. It was the group we were bugging. It was awesome. Like, shout out to anyone. It was fun, right? Gelato inside a beautiful ascending triangle, now up 28% and still continuing. Also a token metrics pick, but I saw it even before token metrics had it. Gelato, Blur continuing to the upside. We put it out even earlier off support. This thing is ripping. I see Blur headed to 97 for gains. All right. Then my elite trade, also putting out trade CKB. They had it before that massive pump. Bam, to the upside. NAKA inside of a beautiful flag with the hidden bullish divergence in that 786 Fibonacci retracement. Bang for gains. All right. I had SUI in the beautiful ascending triangle with the flag right to support 149. It bangs all the way to the upside for gains of 30% in a week. I had Chirply, a beautiful new little coin in the ascending triangle. It did dip a little bit, but would not go where I would have put a stop there, and would bang for 94% gains. Bitcoin calls left and right all over the place. This morning, I put out a trade. Last night, I put out a trade that was still in gains. We talked about getting into the retest. The elites are putting out gains. I got into BMX at the bottom. My elite also had it, 68% for gains. Immutable X. It just goes on and on. Nosana, Kujira, you'll learn about new coins every day. Tonight, we have a screen share, where I go over all the hottest coins that I'm looking at and what I'm planning out for the week ahead, show you what my portfolio looks like, and really break down my strategy, what's happening. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be as such. I'll never go over your portfolio or give you any advice of what to do. That's not what I do, and I'm not a financial advisor. What I will do is teach you technical analysis, teach you how to deep dive, teach you what sites to go to, teach you how to find the right coins at the right time. All right. Mavia, we nailed for 168%. If I went over all the gains, we'd be sitting here all day long, but and these are real. You can back test them. You can see when we put them out. I said I was accumulating ZETA on the low before it popped. It goes on and on and on. Anyway, join the trading group. Enough to be said. The people will tell you. Let the people speak for themselves. Just ask through the communities. Go into all the different places. Go from here to Twitter to Discord. There's someone that's a lifer that's going to tell you the real deal. Anyway, shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. 958 people here on the live, 217 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, shout out to everybody here on the live. Sorry, I just had to tell my wife one thing so she didn't forget. Okay, let's move forward. Let's get into BTC and find out what's happening to Bitcoin. All right, beautiful, beautiful bump, but we got resistance here at 52,800. The 8s have always been a problem. I've talked about the 8s throughout my whole trading style. If you've been watching me for a long time, all about the 8s. The 8s. It's, we get to 20,005, then it was 20,008. We got to 19,005, it was 19,800. I don't know if you forget, but it was 21,800. That was like the vein. We battled it. 21.8. When we finally got through 21.8, that was a big deal. I have like deja vu thinking of that, man. Oh my God. So anyway, moving forward. Shout out to everybody here on the live. We started up, ready to go, ripping. So I see a bearish div here, don't you? Bit of a swing down. Okay. This is a strong swing to the upside. I see a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. So this is telling us that 68% of the time, you're going to come back down to where the wedge began. Sorry. Right about here. That's what the technical analysis says. I'm not, I'm the bearer of bear news, right? But I'm not the guy. I'm not telling you this is guaranteed. I'm going to move this over for now. I did close my trade in profit. I have the proof of it too. All right. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on in. And look, I've been grinding literally one day of trading, but grinding like into today and yesterday, or 2.5 days of trading, but just like grinding. And, you are the company you keep, everybody. If you grind with grinders, you're likely going to win. Hang out with people that push themselves every single day. Hang out with people that don't take days off. All right. So let's break down what could be happening for Bitcoin. I'm going to get out of here for a second. We're going to jump back into that Binance chart. I talked about Terra Classic. I even put my money where my mouth is, and I threw $500 in just for fun, just to see what would happen, right? And now I'm up in my Terra Classic, so I'm going to keep it in there, see what happens. Watch my 500 in Terra Classic turn into 5 racks or something. You know what I mean? Why not? But anyway, it's up 61% on a huge candle. LUNC also had a beautiful pump. I don't know if you remember correctly. Someone asked me LUNC on a super chat, maybe a week ago or something like that. But I put it out like this and talked about it. From what I saw, it looked like it was likely going to break out of this tight channel once it got above the 200 SMA, right? And then look, you front run the golden cross. It is a latent signal, so once you see it about to happen, you front run it. So latent signals are progressive signals if you know how they've moved in the past and you use them preemptively, right? I mean, look, we even pumped way before that, you see? But look, tight moving averages. This thing blasted to the upside. I don't know, lunacy. It's just crazy. And look, when you get above a 200 SMA, that's when I begin to get into the chart. Today, there was a perfect trade for Bitcoin. I pointed out to my trading group. We were in it last night on a flag, but I keep pointing out, you can also use the 200 SMA to enter trades. And I talk about this all the time on my channel. I bring it up probably every day in front of thousands of people. Boom, trade gets above here. You enter the trade. Stop loss on the other side of the 200 SMA. If you can find a support and resistance, why not? If there's a level like even there, but sometimes you can get closer to the bone. What I like about this is if you can lose 10 of these, 20 of these, and you don't lose anything, one of them can clean up like 7 trades. Now, again, I'm winning. I won 11 of my last 13 trades, only last 4 trades and won 11. So my win rate is beautiful. So using this and a great win rate, oh my gosh, right? This is how I, say I'm in a trade already, it comes down, but then it comes back up. This is when I add to a trade. This is when I have more confidence to stay in a trade. This is when the market, everyone's getting bearish, but I see one of these moves, I don't really listen to anybody else. I just stare at the 200 SMA. I trade like a bot. Whatever the 200 SMA tells me to do, I do it. Okay? Yes, you might have opened up a short here and got bagged there, but I wait for a little more confirmation depending, or you also have to feel out what's happening in the market. If the market's more bullish, boom. If the market's more bearish, right? So there's a sentiment involved as well. Can you check Turbo? It looks like it's in an ascending triangle after a long accumulation from Johnny Turbo. Is that the guy? Are you the guy who made the coin? Is that Johnny? They celebrate their 3rd super chat on a live stream. Shout out to Johnny. Let's celebrate your 3rd super chat on a live. Thank you so much. And my indicator will probably come over the screen and do it. I think it's about 15 seconds late, but that's okay. All right. I have it on, I believe. Let's see if I get it. Or maybe it happened already and I wasn't paying attention. I've been seeing that lately because I've been so dialed in to the chats. Anyway, let's get into Bitcoin big time. We'll look at the all-time history index. I personally like to even just use the Coinbase USD chart. All right. It's a pretty decent chart for price action. It might differ from USD by $10 or $12 though, so that throws you off. But we're going to be looking at the bigger picture anyway. I haven't touched this in a long time. And when we zero back in, we're going to head back to the Binance chart. So don't worry, it doesn't matter. It's not really a bigger deal. You can use the Bybit. We can use whatever we want, really. Bitcoin back to 52,300, battling pretty nicely. And actually, let me get back into the smaller time frames for a second. I will look at Turbo. Here's another idea, Rick. Price gets above the 200 SMA. This was on the 5-minute chart, right? You buy, stop loss on the other side. Price goes bananas. This is happening right now to total. On the bigger time frames, to total 3. I mean, you know what I mean? And we're going to break down. I'm going to show you guys this stuff later on. I'm going to piece together how the small time frames teach you big time frames, how big time frames. It's all one big map of expanding time and space. It's just like the universe. It's insane what goes on inside of the charts, and I can get you so excited. I'm so passionate about math. I sit and play with math all the time. Like when I first learned anything times 9 was 9, it bugged me out. 9 times 9, 81. 8 plus 1 is 9, right? 9 times 6 is 63. 9 times 7 is 63. 6 plus 3 is 9, right? 9 times 6 is 54. 5 plus 4 is 9. Like 9 times 9. It doesn't matter. And you can go any number. What's crazy is I've challenged myself to go all the way. So I'm like, no, 9 times 658, And you'd be like, yeah, it's 5 plus 5, which is 14, right? Which is 1 and 4, which is 5, which is 2, which is 7, which is 2, which is 9. You know what I mean? It'll equal 9 every single time. It's insane. I don't care how many times. You could times this by 9, and you'll be like 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 2. 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 2 is 11, right? Which is 2, right? So 5 plus 3 is 8, right? No, plus 2 is 10, which is 1, right? You add that to the 9. So sorry. 5 plus 3 is 8, okay? Plus 2 is 10, right? Which is 1 and a 0, which is a 1. 9 plus 1, right, is 9, which is a 1 and a 0, which is 10. And then you add 1 plus 8, you get to 9 again. It's just insane. It's insane. Anyway, I love it. I love it. Like, and I find that like that type of stuff drives me to do what I do for a living. Like, I love math. Like, I would have taught math for a living, but I just, you know, I'm just using math every day to make gains. You know, it's all probability and data. You know what I mean? It's all probability and data, right? Anyway, let's take a look at Turbo for you since you're so hungry on it and I feel like you're fiending. Let's take a look at what's happening here for Turbo. All right. And that's Turbo spot on Bybit. Is that's going to be that's going to be sufficient for you? You want BitGet? I'm sure you're a BitGet guy, right? I see a bit of an inverted head and shoulder, like somebody said. You did just breach the 200 SMA. Okay, you've made a nice little trend line for yourself here. Okay, to me, it's something like this. You know, can even bring it a little closer. You'd be getting tighter and tighter. You know, it's got ascending triangle vibes if you tighten it up, but you know. There's your length of your pole. Once you break to the upside, you are well above a 200 SMA, right? Or a little bit above, right? So that's a bullish sign. Once you get above that, enter the trade with the stop on the other side, you should have a good chance of a move to the upside on its next leg up. Looks to me like you may be making like a bigger cup and handle here. Like you might, you know, then we'll be drawing the fib here, getting into the 618 and that, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's preemptive. We'll find out. The safe play is to wait for it to break above resistance, which you can click resistance, boom. It might retest or make a flag here and then trade it up. But again, I'm not into this coin. You may be, you know, and yes, somewhat of a shoulder head, right shoulder kind of vibe, almost a complex inverted head and shoulder vibe going. That could definitely propel you back to 0.005 on the chat. From 3, that would be what? 2 on 3, which would be about 60%, right? 47% gains, right? And I'd always be using this 200 SMA as a stop, as my protection for a stop. And again, I don't think I would trade this. It's not like, you know, but it looks like it likely could happen. Let me bounce back to Bitcoin here. But thank you so much for the super chat. We really appreciate that. May God bless you and yours. And just a moment to say, God, thank you for everything you've given me in this life. Thank you for the beautiful sleep I had last night. Thank you for my daughter making me laugh this morning. Thank you for my wife carrying my next child, going through all the pain and ups and downs that she goes through. I prayed last night that today would be just such a better day for her somehow, some way. So I hope that works out. I love you all. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I just wanted to say thank you. Just be in a state of constant gratitude for everything I have in my life. Everyone that works with my company and me, everyone that helps me, all my sponsors, everybody here on the channel. Just want to say thank you so much. Thursdays I always reflect as we have our weekly screen share and really just think about how far we've been. We're at 52,200, everybody. Let's really think about how great this is. You know, we're at 52,800. Like, let's be real. What a beautiful time it is to be alive. CETUS, I'm in CETUS right now because it's looking hot to me. So Bitcoin's breaking down. Rejection, bearish divergence, clear as day here, right? And we're coming back into the fold. Let me get rid of this. This is a resistance area that I have drawn. Why do I have resistance there? Well, it's on the weekly, right? Seems like we came into this on a wick here. It's our only real, you know, it's a place of resistance for Bitcoin on the weekly. So I'm trying to get just this. Why? Yeah, there we go. And we've been going over the weekly the last few days, but you can see, I mean, I'm not going to get bearish until we lose this area, 50,000 now. And then we have resistance at 40,000, you know, that 275 area. And then we have 44,005. So until we breach those two levels, I'm not going to get on this bear train that I see a lot of these people talking on. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? I'm a one step at it. You know, see, what I tell everybody is you live in the present moment, you know? We don't tell ourselves, oh, Bitcoin's going all the way to 50K, 70,000 tomorrow, and we don't tell ourselves we're going all the way to 30,000. We say we have what Bitcoin is today in front of us right now, and we deal with that as it is. You know what I mean? We go from one level to the next. Which, let me get back into what I normally do every single day. And I usually start on the weekly chart. And Bitcoin just lost 52,000. So we're getting a little bit of a short here to the downside. I just want to show you that I go over Bitcoin during the day here on the weekly, every single day, and just kind of clearly show you why. I just want to make it really nice and neat for people that are new, that don't, maybe you're just watching Bitcoin for the first time. All right. Bang. Bang. Okay, so here's the deal. This is a resistance point just because we wicked like right to it. Right there. Okay? And then we don't have much else. When you have nothing else to go, traders will find a wick, and there's a wick down there and a wick to there. So you have to say, okay, we wick to there, we wick to there. On the weekly, when you have not much to go, a wick can be as big as a candle on another time frame because you don't have anything else to go on, right? But you can clearly see, like right here, we wicked pretty much up, we wicked pretty much down. That's why I put a bar. It's like an area, right? Now we've wicked to that area. You can see we clearly have resistance 53K. So we went all the way to let's see how the high of this candle was. The high was 52,890. I mean, so there's some resistance around 52,800, right? We're already down $1,000, and this is how volatile Bitcoin's going to be. All right. Now our next stop place there is right. Wait, look, 50,800. You can see because that's where these two candles closed. So we'd have to lose this level and then this level, 47,000, which we were playing with before, which was 47,275. I remember correctly. I could look at it again, but I always remember we kept going back to that area over and over again. Let's see. We'll call it 47,000. You could even call it 47,250 if you wanted. No, let's see. Where did it? It opened at 47,250. But this is just a key area, right? So I don't stress until we lose 47,000. Right now, but we are in a big range, and I don't want to lose a big short either. So now we're going to run into the smaller time frames. I usually check the 5 hour, the 5 day, and that's when I put on the moving averages. And see, I'm all about the 200 SMA. I just showed you before on the smaller time frames. Had you waited for price action to break the 200 and then began to open a trade here with a stop on the other side, you would have went on a massive rally for Bitcoin. The 200 is a beautiful gateway to making gains on small time frames and big time frames. All right. Now look at that 5 day candle getting pretty right now we're getting pretty beat up at the present moment in time. Let's go to our 3 day. Again, same with the 3 day chart. All right. Same thing here with the 3 day. You can see we clearly have some support at 46,000, and in the weekly, those bigger areas on the weekly. I go to the daily, and you don't really have support till you get all the way back to that exact area that 47,005, and that wicks into 47,275. So that same area, 47,500, 47,000 is just a key area to watch. You see where this green candle actually closed, and it's 47K even, right? 46,995. So the daily coming back down to 47,000 would make a lot of sense. The weekly wouldn't really budge from something like this. And if we consolidated, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Are we going to make a massive dump? Anything is possible. Let's see what's going on. All right. Now, whenever I'm away from the 21 or price is away from the 21, it tells me that we're likely not going to get the biggest impulse to the upside. Impulses to the upside come when we're near the 21-day moving average. And I teach this to my students. All right. Close to them, we got to move up. Close to them, we got to move up. Every time you get an impulse, you'll gap away from the 21. This gap tells me you'll likely come down. At the same time, you'll be having high stochastics RSI. These are a coupled theme in my trading, in my trading basically toolbox. So whenever I see this, and then I'm usually looking for some type of bearish divergence, if possible, anywhere between the 7, 15, 1 hour, 4 hour, even up to the daily if I can, and the thing about divergence is it can bear its funny head on different time frames and react, the bigger the time frame, the better, but it changes, on different ways, right? Does mana look like it's going to pop weekly? I just accidentally closed my trade instead of hedging. So annoying. No worries, man. You'll be fine. That's a blessing. Every time you hit an obstacle in life, it's a blessing. All right. Did you see AVAX news yesterday? Citibank used Layer 1 blockchain Avalanche Spruce subnet to explore the tokenization of private equity funds to re-architect capital markets. That's a big deal. Thank you for saying that. Seize the day. Sam has not changed his style of trading since I followed him a few years ago. Rinse and repeat. He will teach you to be successful in trading and in life. Thank you for saying that. That's blessings. C6 price prediction. Oh, that's going to be interesting. I haven't actually done that myself. That'll be fun. We have to do that for later, but that's going to be a C6 deep dive. SOPH AI on MEXC, 3D candle, RSI crossing, 3X. Bought 58%, 100%, and 60% out. Lack of bearish momentum on the MACD. Could pump before the next day. SOPH, USD. Thank you for the add-on. I appreciate that. Been in the group about a year and a half and just started to make consistent gains based on the TA I've learned. Just wanted to show appreciation. V. James, we love you. MYRO, please, about to do the thing. Yeah. All right, we got a lot coming at us. We got a lot of action today here. 1,292 people, 361 likes, $36 in chat revenue. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the fan funding. We love you. We appreciate you. All right. And we're going to jump on into these coins right now and see what's happening for Bitcoin. Bitcoin gets back above 52,000. Nice sign, too. All right. I'm telling you right now, we still, they built a little more orders below us now. Look, they built some more orders down. 51,000, getting a little bold. We still got Big Red holding us down at 53,000. He hasn't budged. Big Red is big and Big Red is mean. And I don't like to counter trade Big Red, man. Most of the time, it ends up in a folly of liquidations. But, you can find out for yourself. You can go tackle Big Red and see if you get thrown out of the winner's circle or not. It's up to you. Anyway, who's Big Red? It's this group of people that's able to put the biggest order up on the order book at the present moment in time and own that. Great to be alive with you, bro. Let's take them with Divs, baby. I love you, brother. I love you, man. Shout out to Fidel Escobar. Life or love, your whole philosophy and outlook on life. Use gratitude and love intentionally to heal yourself and others. Dude, love and life, man. Love and gratitude. If you live in love, you cannot be denied. It's the strongest frequency. Like it is a pulsating frequency that, emanates such a strong vibration that it can't be denied. And so I learned that if you live in love, love others, and you project love onto everyone you know and every situation you're in, you're gonna have a good time in life, right? And you're gonna be able to get through any of the pain. You won't second guess. You won't be in fear. You're either in love and gratitude, or you're in fear, hate, greed, and all these other low frequency vibrations. So like you either vibrate high, and then I've learned that if you stay in the past and beat yourself up with the past, you'll be dragged down into negative thoughts and frequencies, and you won't be able to go forward. And then you won't be in the present. And then if you're not in the present, you can't build. And if you can't build, you can't grow. And if you can't grow, you can't progress. And if you can't progress, you can't go after your dreams, your goals, your hopes, and everything that you're going for. And you can't turn into who you want to become. So it all starts with you living in the present moment in time and loving yourself and loving others. Staying in gratitude. That frequency, that vibration will pull in and attract all the other vibrations in which you need to survive. Everything will come from that. Trust me in that. And follow your heart. When you know something isn't right, don't do it. If you have my dad used to say, you have this inner feeling in here, and you know it deep inside. And my dad would literally put his finger here. When I was young, 7, 8 years old, he would say, Sam, you have this. You need to listen to that. It told me to get out of the dollar when I was young. It told me that there was a Ponzi scheme going on and that I needed to get into some asset that actually had some real value, right? Whether it was Bitcoin, whether it was art, whether it was real estate, something that wasn't going to get printed to zero, right? Land, okay? So, so anyway, Bitcoin's away from the 21-day moving average. Every single time it's been this far away on the daily time frame, it has come back to it. It has come back to it. This could be the short of shorts here, right? And technically, that is a bearish divergence here. It's a long one, but it's one nonetheless. You could you tap that a little bit, but you don't tap it here, And we see some type of, dude, Jesse, man, I'm coming back, baby. Sam, thank you for being real. Love never fails, bro. I just joined the 99 trading group, ready to rock, bro. Love you, Jesse. Yo, Jesse, I love you, man. You're one of my favorite people in the world. Me and my wife still mention and talk about you all the time. And my wife's trying to get me to move to South Carolina, but I really want to move to Sarasota. Maybe you could give us a call or send us an email and just kind of give us one last reason why Sarasota is the place for us, man. But I love you. I miss you, man. I will see you soon. I know I will in the next year. And you're the man, dude. God bless you and your family. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. It's so nice to see see your face and hear you. Like, you know, think of you. I can hear your voice when I read the chat, man. Blessings on blessings. CryptoLifers at Gmail, man. Tell us why. Yo, sell her on Sarasota. And tell her she's got family waiting, you know. Hey, Sam, what are your thoughts on XPR Network? I heard it's been pumping lately or something's been going on. I saw something about it on the Martini guy, right? He likes it. Anyway, so Bitcoin's away from the 21-day moving average. Likely it moves back down to the 21. It could also go, what I've seen in my lifetime is like maybe one more pump and then it goes sideways and we get the 21 to come here and then we go up. So I'm not saying that I know exactly what's going to happen to price action. I'm just telling you in general, you know, we did hit another resistance, which I showed you, and we're away from the 21-day moving average on the daily. To me, 90%, 99, 95% of the time, we come back down to this 21, which could give us a nice little pullback. The market needs to cool off. We've had such a massive rally out of nowhere. It's been awesome. We hit 50K. It's been amazing. We now need to lose 50K a little bit, right? This would be amazing. For us to continue up, what do we need, everybody? We need bears. And we need a lot of bears to make a lot of shorts. And we need a lot of stop losses to liquidate. If we keep liquidating the bears like we've done, we're going to get exhausted. We're going to exhaust the bears. And if we exhaust the bears, then how are we going to continue? We can't. We need the bear. We can pump all we want. And we can continue to buy. But we need more bears. All right. How do we get more bears? We lose 50K. That would be so, right? They would get like, they would think, we got them, right? So we'd go down, we go up and down. This would take 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half. Bitcoin would come back to the 21. It would reset. Hopefully it would make a hidden bullish divergence on like the 12-hour, 22-hour, the daily. We'll reset on the 12-hour time frame. And boom, right? It'll be previous support and resistance. They might wick us down on a fake out, right? Get some of the people that think they're trading this. Bring it out. Might fake it out first. Bring it down again. Do something funny. We'll find the div. We'll call the bottom of the day, right? Blah, blah, blah. We'll do what we do. Eventually, we'll get above the 200 SMA on the 15 or the 7. It'll be right around here. I'll see a flag. We'll start calling it. We'll get on the 1 hour, boom, and we'll take the trade. Same things that I do every time because we know when the small time frames switch over now with high confidence with my system. So now we just need to, it's super cool how we just adjust. And then if those small time frames don't confirm and don't do what they're supposed to do, we know that the bigger move isn't happening. And we have to either pull back, wait for it, buy lower, or we play with a little bit of shorts for a little while until we get our ground. If it's too much chop, we wait for the chop. We trade what we can on the smaller time frames and we wait. Just like we did here, just like we did here. And we have a system for this, we have a system for that, we have a system, and we're going to be in control. But this is likely what's going to happen, in my humble opinion. All right? Just because we're away from the 21-day moving average. I'm not listening to anybody else. All right? Can you please do your TA on GROK, please? Appreciate you. Love you 100. Keep spreading the G, that love. You are an amazing strong with the lover influencer. Lover gratitude for life, man. Shout out to William Schuveld. Is that right? Yeah. And shout out to Corey Tweedy. I like that. Corey Tweedy. That was pretty cool. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Wright. Is the market mainly controlled by the futures market? Surely, if so, the most corrupt price action there is. Oh, for sure. Guaranteed. But eventually you just learn that every market is controlled by the futures market. So, MYRO doing damage. I just wanted to talk about MYRO for a split second. MYRO doing absolute damage to the upside, right? It did hit almost 30 today, this morning, right? What was the high of this candle? 30 even. 30.45 was the high for MYRO. Back to 28.44 as Bitcoin's getting a little bit of a pullback here. And you're overbought on the daily. And we had a beautiful run on that daily. Low stochastic to high stochastic. That's what happens. The only thing about MYRO is you don't even see any bearish div yet, really. Maybe a little bit, kind of. Makes me feel like we could still get extended. But, it's going to follow Bitcoin. It seems to lag a little bit behind it, though. Or someone said they front run it, actually. I think that's what they were saying. But to me, they're kind of lockstep. Like, they've been pumping and moving together. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a short here for Bitcoin back to the 200 SMA. Bong, right? I could wait for the daily candle to close today, but we may miss a lot out on the short. So the risky move is to open a short here Okay? And I know he's shorting now after all this, the most bullish guy. When I'm away from the 21-day moving average on big time frames, anywhere from the 12-hour to the daily to the 3-day, it just tells me that we have to pull back. I'm sorry, everybody. That's what my system says. But again, it doesn't have to happen. I'm going to teach you how maybe this doesn't happen. All right? There's a chance. Right now, that's still a green candle. It's not, so I'd like to wait for the daily candle to close red first. That would give me more confirmation to open the short. So I'm not ready to open the short just yet. But whoever did already get into the short at like 52.8 is probably doing pretty nice, right? But remember, we're only $1,000 away from the high. Everyone is already getting there. What's cool is we're already, for some reason, about the high pumpage. Maybe we only have to go a little bit down just to get enough shorts to get us to the next line. We just need to create a little bit of shorts. Even right now, people are starting to build short. Look, I'm already talking short, and I'm a real bullish guy. So you can only believe the other people that are more short biased than me. They're already they're already in the short. They've loaded up. There's already people winning shorts, right? Convinced that they're on the right way, And look, now the whales are kind of filling up. We're getting some more red. It's getting redder below us. And that's the thing. They can change their tune too, right? It's getting darker red below us. They're building more liquidity below us, all the way to 51,040 into 50,500. All right. The smaller time frames are going to be our guide now. So now you're confused, right? You're watching the daily. You're not sure what to do. As a new trader, you're like, I don't know where we're at now. Well, I will tell you now is you wait for this 12-hour candle to close in 8 hours and 11 minutes, and that's going to tweezer top. 2 red candles. A green and a red. Green and a red. Like a green and a red. You can see when it's going to be what's called a top. You're very high in the stochastics RSI, and you're starting to get a curve to the downside, and you're away from the 21-day moving average. This is so likely moving to the downside. It's insane. Okay. Danny's Gonzalez, I just joined the 99 group. Very excited on this. God bless you, man, and celebrate your 3rd super on a live stream. And he gives $20 to tell us that he joined. Like, that's how, dude. Thank you so much. That's very nice of you. The gratitude that you just delivered through your actions is going to come back to you tenfold in your life with karma, vibration, energy, and frequency, man. May God bless you, Danny. May God bless you. It's very nice of you to do. Like, you did not have to do. You already paid to join the group, and then you're giving it. The gratitude in the world amazes me every single day. This channel reveals the gratitude in the world every day, and I'm amazed by it. So I'm jumping on the short train again here, especially if this candle closes. It's just very likely we're moving back down to this 200 SMA. Okay? 8 hours says the same. Let's go for let's go against this scenario. So the bigger time frames have shown me ideas of a short. All right? They've proposed the probability is short. No guarantees, but they're proposing these ideas. And I'm hearing them. The charts are whispering, I'm listening, right? The MACD is getting overbought. Price action's moving to the upside, right? Eventually, if we have falling volume with rising price, that's going to be another sign. And we have it right here. You have price moving to the upside from here to here. You have the volume moving down. That's a divergence that you don't want to see. That means that the buyers are going down, but price action's going up. You can juxtapose price action and volume. Some people just trade price action and volume, and it tells a story. Rising volume with rising price tells you price action is going to continue to the upside. This is a bullish sign, right? And look, if eventually it basically is in an uptrend over time. Well, this is in an uptrend. So the volume was increasing. Here you flattened out when you were flat, but volume was increasing. Here's another place that, as price action started to go up right here, the volume was decreasing. You can see it. And what happened? We started to go down. So again, here you'll see volume will increase, but right there, and then the shorts really increased. That's a very strong short. But like right here, you can see like we were pretty flat. It was just the end of the volume. Like volume was increasing while price was increasing, and then boom, we started. So once you see that price action and volume aren't in like conjunction, aren't moving basically in congruent movement. They're not congruent with each other, right? Then there's a problem. Okay. I also see a bit of bearish divvy here now on the 8-hour time frame. This swings down on the RSI. while this swings to the upside, okay? And this is curving. We could get a rollover here. We had bearish divergence even defied already, okay? So I'm not saying we're dumping for sure. I'm just showing signs, you know, and again, because the 21's not that far away, we might even just go sideways here. Something like this. This may just be a very nonchalant little ascending triangle, and then we blast to the upside. Just catch our breath, let the altcoins pump a little bit. That would be great. So I'm not saying it's a devastating collapse here. I'm just showing you it looks like sideways price action or a pullback on the bigger time frames. All right. Let's keep moving forward now to the 4-hour time frame. And the 4-hour even is rolling over too on the stochastics RSI, and it has bearish divergence as well, right? Overall, like an overall uptrend with an overall downtrend. I mean, that screaming bearish div. You get the 21 moving away from the 200 SMA. Whenever these get far apart, it tells me that there's going to be some type of pullback. We've had a beautiful rally. Like you usually, I mean, on the 4-hour time frame, I mean, that's usually the best you get in general. I mean, one of the best rallies I've ever seen Bitcoin pull off in the 4-hour. That's been beautiful. 43,000. We just went up 25%, right? So to me, now what I am looking at here is the 4-hour and, you know, the other time frames, but this $50,800 support, and just watching price action have to interact with this 21-day moving average. Now there's a chance we could go up in a flag while it does this. That would be extremely bullish, right? The stochastics have to reset on the 4-hour time frame. I wouldn't open up a massive long or start building a bigger long until I start to see this occur here, right? The stochastics reset like this. And we're either going to make, you know, and I don't know exactly what's going to happen, like I show you, but this is what I call the twisted sister. And this comes into like how I trade. So now and I believe it's like kind of a quantum theory, because in the idea of quantum space and time, you're going to pick a direction and move, and your whole life will change on that direction. And so if someone put me in a Y, I would have to make a right or a left. They wouldn't really control everything, but they would have taken and narrowed down my decision-making process, right? So in a way, are they doing that to us already inside of a quantum space and time? That's kind of crazy, right? But anyway, so look, we see that we're in this, you know, falling. So we have two scenarios here. There's really 4 scenarios. One, we continue to pump out of nowhere to the upside. Is that likely? You know, it could happen. I'm open-minded. There's a chance it does, but let's go over. Whenever you're curving and you're, you know, starting to curve on the stochastics, we didn't go up there, so no, it didn't happen. Not there, it didn't happen. Here we were curving, and we did kind of start to go up here, so it did happen there. And then we curved, and we, you know, so this one was an interesting anomaly. But that happens in insane, you know, when things are just getting completely out of proportion, right? Which was what happened. We liquidated shorts beyond belief. But in general, like here we were curving down. There you're curving down. There's another one where there's an anomaly. So that's why when the stochastics get up there, you don't always, you got to use support and resistance. I just want to point that out. There's anomalies in the stochastics. I have videos on this, and I used to talk about them. You used to see me, the anomaly on the weekly, because everyone was going to short. And I'd say, but you can't just short high stochastics every time. I said, there's times where once you get above, and that's why I learned that support and resistance is the greatest thing. Once you get above a key support or resistance and the stokes even get high, they'll reset. You won't lose the support or resistance, and you'll begin to grind further. I've learned when and how to, you know, I have my whole strategy, but then there's still ways to bounce through the strategy and combine different sections of the strategy at different times. Like you add more fortitude to certain areas of your strategy, but then you pull back. That becomes another stage of trading after you gain a strategy. It's really like there are levels and levels. I'm not even at another level where a guy who's been trading 20, 30 years, right? I've been trading 15. So there's levels to this game that go deeper and deeper. There's levels to your mind that go deeper and deeper. There's levels to success in everything in life. It never ends till we die. It's infinite, okay? That's why we're on a constant mode of progression. Every day, you got to fall in love with the journey, because you're never going to get to a true destination. You're going to make goals and hit them, but then the day you hit that goal, it's, you know, you ever hear the team, we won the Super Bowl, but you know, yeah, 1 week we're going to be happy. Next week it's back to work. You know, if you're truly going after, if you're locked in step with progression, the rewards feel good for a moment, but you're just right back in the moment. You're right back in it, you know? Like there's days I wake up, I knew I called Bitcoin absolutely perfectly. The chart goes well, like the market goes well, the stream goes unbelievable, and it's an unbelievable day, right? But then that day's over. It's the next day. Like it's awesome, you know. You relish in your wins for a second, but then you're like, okay. So here's the deal, you know. One of these two things is happening. Is it a bigger pullback? And you see we have support at 50,000 now for Bitcoin. All right. And 52,000 is resistance. It's got a strong resistance on the daily and other time frames. You know, it's looking like we were going to hold it, but we didn't. You know, we got pretty nice up there, but we didn't hold that mode. The 1 hour also looks like it's kind of like curving over. So let's take a look at the 1 hour because that was the time frame I was on. These projections are cool, but they'll get in your head. You know, you just got to understand that they're there. And what I do is I watch this price action begins to kind of follow suit. So clear as day right here, there's a bearish div on the 1 hour time frame. That's a very strong bearish. That's like the definition of bearish divergence. What will also happen, see, like you start to pull, like these moving averages get very far apart. And I teach this to my students too. I love to get into trades when the moving averages are tight and close. I like to get out of trades when the moving averages are very far apart. Okay? Or begin to scale out at the very least. The one good thing is you are close to the 21 here, but you're starting to kind of make that separation from the 200. I see, you know, you're still above certain, you know, resistance here. If you just looked at this on, you know, we bring this down. Just remember your weekly, but, you know, the 1 hour here is now 50,350. So do we come down and test this area? And then it brings me to this bigger, you know, where we're at. And then I'm going to zoom into where we are now, right? Actually, I'll just probably stay there because why not? But, yeah, everyone's using USD, so. So this just kind of brings me to where we're at, right? I know we have this key resistance. If we fall, we're coming into this trap of liquidity. You can see the VRVP right here with the point of control at 49,867 to 50K. So there's a big order of liquidity down here at 50,000. You know, we jumped up. We squeezed as many shorts as we can. You have to remember, how you move up is squeezing shorts. So if you don't have enough shorts to squeeze, okay? For me right now, look, you're breaking this level. Now, I don't always jump out on the short immediately. I'd look for what's called a bearish retest on a smaller time frame or some type of bearish continuation flag. So right now we zoom in, and this is kind of where the sauce begins, all right? Once you break below a 200 SMA in the 5 minute, yes, that would be, you know, an idea right away to get ready for a possible scalp short. Enter the short here, stop on the other side, let that puppy ride to the downside. We know the trend is now somewhat changing. Okay, we had a high, we had a low, we had a higher low. We still somewhat have a higher high, but we have definitely broken this kind of beautiful uptrend that we were in. And maybe, hold on 1 second. I'm going to be a little open-minded here. I just wanted to see something. Yeah, but even here, like even if I go here, it's like you broke this. Even if you were trying to make this like a little flag here, or you know, you're kind of outside. You fell outside right here, and so you know you've lost this diagonal trend line. And then the idea that it is a rising wedge that you're breaking from on the bigger idea, right? So to me, yes, I mean. So I wouldn't open up a long now unless I saw Bitcoin, you know, unless I was scalping a smaller time frame. I wouldn't be comfortable opening up a long until I saw Bitcoin either get back inside here and do something cool here, which would still be risky, or even break out. Come down and retest some area up in here and just break above this high now. That high tells me that, you know, just like when we find our low for the day, right? It's very similar. Same scenario. Look, we find our low, boom. You find our high. Now, the moving averages are pretty tight on the 5, but what we don't want to see is price action starting to lose the 200 SMA and lose it definitively, which it is doing at the present moment in time. That's the beginning of a short move. Every short move starts with the smaller time frame losing the 200. Then you go from there. Doesn't mean every time you lose it, you're going down the tubes. You know what I mean? It's like a rhombus is a square, or a square is a, yeah, a rhombus is a square, but not every square is a rhombus. That whole idea, right? See, almost, I'm going to go to smaller time frames. So I see an inverted head and shoulder here. I see a bit of an ascending triangle, right? Can almost call it I feel like it's a symmetrical, but. Now, these are bearish patterns, but now you're going to be looking for bullish divergence on the smaller time frame. Now, this is a very, see that? That is a bullish div, even though they both point down. It's a class C. If this continues and this continues, they will hit each other. Divergence is when two lines of this, the line below the price and line below the RSI will eventually diverge into each other. That's what I consider divergence. Years I just looked at charts and said, okay, this is divergence. But one day I sat there and I realized, no, it's actually, it comes from the word division. It's when the words will divide. It's when the actual trajectory of the lines will divide each other. And it's funny, when you're doing this, sometimes you'll like, I don't know if it's great. You'll call me nuts, but my mind will flash into like deep Greek Pythagorean math. And like, I feel like I transcended into like, I don't know, infinite space and time for a second. It doesn't happen all the time. And I'm not trying to freak you out, but it happens when I'm like deep in thought playing with the charts. And and it's like, I get these confirmations of math that it just, I just like, yeah. And so one day I was doing this and I said, divergence is when this line continues, right? And the music stops, which is weird because I didn't want it to, but it just did. And then this line continues, and you can see, if you traveled these trajectories, these lines would hit each other. They would diverge, right? So divergence, okay. I don't know, it makes sense to me. So they don't always have to have the exact opposite angle. You just want to make sure. Now, if these lines are parallel, that's a different story, right? And then there's exaggerated, and there's other ways to go about divergence. Divergence is deep. It took me like 3 to 4 years to really, for me personally, to tackle all the different types of divergent things that I wanted to tackle. And I'm sure there's still things to learn. But, so, yeah, And remember, I like what he said. This guy here, I just, mentioned a comment there about price action. I'm huge on price action. Like, at the end of the day, a lot of my trades will be like, we got above this key level. We retested. I'm long. We lost this key level. We're not there. I'm short, like simple stuff. So right now we look, are we going to get this bounce back to the 200 SMA? That's what we need. Kind of looks like an inverted head and shoulder, but that's like a far bigger right shoulder, and I'm seeing kind of tops here, and you're very overbought. So to me, I see a short right now, and this could be the beginning of a bigger short. But right here, there's, we've lost the 200 SMA. That's the beautiful entry. Right when you lose the 200 SMA in the 1 minute, stop on the other side. The 1 minute can be really crucial. The flag is like this length of this pole, really. The smaller move is just the base of here. If you're like, if someone was trading heavy leverage with a large amount, like if I would take, I'd be taking just this move and be getting out, as soon as I could at 51.6, right? So, again, you've seen me long for days, right? And then all of a sudden now I'm short. I just do what the charts tell me to do. The charts are conveying to me that look at this, stochastics pushing down. Telling me this is about to dump. No guarantees. If we hold this, if this comes down and we somehow hold this low and that ends up for the low for the day, we'll pump up to this 200. If we get above the 200, I'll long. Until then, I won't long. Like, I don't have to long until we get above this 200 SMA on the 1 minute. You get it? Look, that was the entry for a beautiful long. That was the entry there. So, like, as long as I have my system in place and I listen to it, I'm in good shape. And look, we had a death cross here. Okay. Does it mean I know the price? Does it mean I know what price is going to do? And this can't just pump up and stop us out? No. I have no idea where price action's going. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. What I do know is most of the time when these stokes are this high, especially after 3 hills, it's likely that you don't go further to the upside. Especially when you're curving down here on the MACD and you're inside what's called, I see a symmetrical triangle, which by the book is a 50-50 pattern, but I see it dump to the downside all the time. All right. This is like, I feel like this is a 90% chance this is dumping to the downside based on my probabilities, but I could be wrong. What do I know? Right? So there's a short for Bitcoin that I'm seeing here on the smaller time frame. See, it took me like about an hour. It always does. I started Bitcoin. I might do some super chats. We mentioned some mind math and we go over some different things. And we even point out what I can to teach you guys what I can teach you. All right. Looks like buy volume is strong here. Bitcoin to zero here. And again, I'm like a buy the dip kind of guy. Like Bitcoin just keeps getting unattainable, right? So in the long term, I'm still buying BTC in the low. I'd start to buy like altcoins in the low. You know, I wouldn't let these I'd let these bearish days tell me, hey, any red days now are blessings. We're going to get into a serious bull market. The halving's going to come and things are going to change. You guys, the environment's going to be a lot different than we've been used to. We've been ingrained into a bear market for a long time. For me, though, I feel like we got out of the bear market a year ago when everyone was bugging out. When AGIX went from 4 cents to 66 cents, that's when things that was crazy. And that was last November, October, right? So this is where we stand. We're back to the 1 minute chart watching BTC. All right. Let's see if I feel like opening up a trade. I've just been hitting so well. All my trades have gone well. And I do tend to long more than I short. Like, know your bias. I definitely know that I'm more bull bias. Because I grew up in a bear market. I mean, a bull market, right? Like, those are my first trading, situations. And I traded bullishly for 10 years when I traded the stock market. I only traded gold ETFs, you know what I mean? But this is dumping, man. I mean, pretty simple. I love stochastics RSI. They'll tell you what's likely happening, right? I didn't have time really to get into the short. I did. I could have. I just didn't do it. No excuses. I just didn't do it. And there you go. That's in the money. Even pull this down here. It's still like and let's see if they're the 1 second. Yeah, see, the 1 second loss to 200 SMA, gone. Stop loss on the other side, right? 1 second, you can trade the 200 SMA. This will teach you how to trade any time frame in the world. So yeah, like you literally can be, I feel like 90% accurate. It's very rare here. I'll come out and call short and then the market will go the other way. I'm not going to be right every time though. All right. Who here is making money on a short right now, right? And who here loves how we call the market every single day? And again, I was bullish this morning in the trading group, but if you don't come and watch, things change. Things change fast, And look, that's a rollover right there. I mean, that's a head and shoulder pattern to me. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. You could draw a neckline and call a dump on that. All right. Again, we still got that divergence. We still got that divergence here. That big one we talked about. And it is divergence. If you break this low, the second you break this low, that's confirmation you're going down. But I feel like it's 90% we're hitting my target here at 51,003. And look, then you look at BOOKMAP and you see are they adding to the idea? And they are. I mean, there's more liquidity. There's some liquidity down here. And look, where's Big Red now? Big Red's there, but when we make it real, Big Red's down here now, right? The biggest red is lower than us now. So Big Red is, the liquidity grew. And the liquidity grew below us too as well. But the charts also told us what was going to happen, right? We knew that we were going to be at 51,790 now. We knew that we were going to drop to the downside. We knew that we were going to dump. The stochastics told us we have lost to 200 SMA. All these signs. I closed my longs and I'm nicely in profit. And now I get to just watch the market on this Thursday. Okay, at 11:11. Thanks to you, I'm short, somebody said. Down, saw looking right for a few good red candles on the 1 minute. Just made me a little money on that short call. Bang, bang, bang. I found you and you've been so accurate, I'm kind of new to reading, probably joining your group. Hey, man, come on in, dude. I quit my job. I quit my marriage. I quit everything for the lifers, baby. We love you, man. Come on in, bro. Don't quit your marriage, though. That's part of that is part of the bounty of making gains from your house every day. I'll be looking for that bottom. Life or friend, man. That's what it is. You know what's interesting that I'm seeing now, which is, I didn't really see before. This is really weird, but see this slanted head and shoulder? Likely going to dump to the downside, the 50,008 possibly. That's crazy, right? But I see that too. I just saw that. I'll be honest though, this may be the bottom on that divergence right there. There's a chance that does hold. That was our liquidation because Thursday doesn't have as much liquidation. There's not as many people to get as Monday and the other days, right? I mean, maybe, you never know. I don't want to talk like that, but in general, right? I'm personally not in a trade right now. I want to make that clear. I closed my long. Didn't make as much as I wanted, but I closed in profit, which made me super happy. Like, blessed, I'm blessed. And I'm very, very happy with the last 2 days of trading. Like, very, very happy. So, yeah. And remember, the 800s, 51.8, key areas. Key areas. Fat red candle for Mara. Mara top and Demara double top here. Is it time to bail? The daily is very high. You know. 2-day chart got legs. 5-day chart. The bigger time frames. 3-day chart just getting started. See if you can weather the storm. Mara's just getting started, you know. Messy with the fibs and, you know, my projections. What's weird is I just started trading. I traded the stock market for 8 years. 2016, slowly switched to Bitcoin, never looked back. And now I'm jumping back into the stock market the last couple months. And it's just, I look at their 1 hour candles and they make me laugh. I'm like, yo, what is that? You know, like what type of price action is it? I mean, it's just falling in Bitcoin easily, but like, what type of price action is that, right? Anyway. And the rising wedge breaks down. I mean, this all makes perfect sense. Just like a falling wedge that breaks to the upside when you got bullish divergence. And you pump up to the 200 SMA. This is the money printer upside down. You see? Same exact thing. So this is exactly what Master Friend's teaching you on the smaller time frame and how I use it when we pull away from the 21-day moving average with bullish dip. All right. You wait for this retracement, bring back down. There's the 786 possibly. Boom. And I don't know everything he does. I'm not trying to be a know-it-all. He's got his own special Sacito. All right. If you want to learn that Sacito, hit the QR code, hit the link right here, and jump into the Master Friends tutelage. It's pretty awesome. 3 times a week and get a recording to get you started. If you don't really know how to trade, I would suggest you at least watch the live stream or take my beginner's course. Or it's not even really a beginner's course. It's my overall like TA risk management course. The last Saturday of every single month. So in about 2 weeks, I'll teach this, the life revision right here. After you do that, it would probably be good to jump into Master Friends class if you want. And if you've already been trading for a year or two and you know how to trade, this is a pretty cool class, you know. Jump on it. You might really find it extremely interesting. I found it interesting. I trade my own style. I do my own thing. Eventually, you will too. That's the beauty of life. Like, you should be able to, you know, if you find your own style, you'll know you're spot on. But, you know, you never know. You may just get, you may just love it. So, this rising wedge breaks down. We hit 50,400. That would be the next area I'd be looking at, right? Unless we hit one of these support regions here that we've been chopping on. But it's unlikely. It's more likely we do break to the downside. Losing the 21 is a bearish sign, you know. Once you lose the 21, there's a drop. Losing all moving averages. And that's why I love using the simple moving averages and waiting for confirmations below them. It doesn't mean we're going to turn and rip. And look, this is also a bit of an M pattern here. So it does look likely we could get a beautiful short to the downside now, you know. And again, you might just become one of those, you know, it could rip up tomorrow parabolically, go back inside the pattern and just, you know, shred the shorts. I'm not into really shorting Bitcoin, like, you know, too hard. I'm into watching and waiting to accumulate the coin. Now I want to see coins come down to prices that I want them at. And I want to, like, now I know exactly what I want because I knew what I wanted and then the prices got a little far away. They came back down. I still didn't buy everything I wanted. I bought a good amount of stuff, but not everything I wanted. Prices came back down again. And I waited, and I keep telling, I had this tether on the sidelines. I wanted to put in last night, the day before, and I just keep waiting. And something told me just to hold it. And, you know, I also want to make a pretty big buy in Solana and Chainlink too. Just to make like a simple 3 to 4x, like nothing crazy, you know. And so that just, you know, I'm just looking at ideas and scenarios here. So bearish div, an M pattern, losing moving averages. once you come to this high volume node and lose it, you're going to drop to this point of control, which is at 49, right? And then you can look at the point of control of the range, right? How we do that is we kind of look at this whole zone that we're in from here. Get away the moving averages for a second, and we can go over to the, you know, the fixed range volume profile. And I want to take a look at this whole range from here to there and really just kind of, and so you gap that range in and we take a look and you can see like fair value, overvalue, undervalue, right? So like Bitcoin comes back to fair value, right? 42,000. All right. A lot of chop here. And again, we may never make it lower than 46, but it's just telling you, you know, you're in the overvalued area for Bitcoin for sure. Great place to take profits at this blue line, specifically when you're looking at how things are measured, and you know you're in the value area high. So, and when I'm a stochastics RSI guy, momentum guy, what I don't, the only thing when I'm the idea here, look, one thing, what if the Bitcoin goes up like this and then we get bearish divergence on the daily, right? Like that. And so that's just one thing on my radar that could be possible. All right. And so like I usually like to see a bearish div on the daily before we get crushed. And I'm not on the RSI. I'm not seeing that yet. Here we started to see it and we even reset, but we went up while we reset. And even though there was a bearish div there, which eventually did play out, swing up to swing down, right? Because there was bearish divergence there, swing up. And it did play out. But we hit a key other area, you know. And you can see the dips are probably going to be few and far between. They're going to be way smaller than people think they're going to be. All right. That's just another idea to contemplate, right? Look at that, man. We mooned right back up. Somehow we made another low, but we mooned right back up. We made a divvy here. That could have been it right there. Low stochastic, right? Still back to break even. Now this could be just a bearish retest again as we get overbought, just to try to, you know, entice some longs to jump on in again so they can go further down. It's like they got a juice to let go and let go to then, you know, it's like they always got to go the opposite way first for a bit to get the people to do the opposite thing, to get them to do, you know. So am I short or long at the present moment in time? I mean, I'm staying short until Bitcoin can get, you know, I wouldn't open up a big long, like I said, until we get back above 52.8. That's just how my style is. Like I'm not, you know, I don't see a reason to open up a long until we get back above that area. All right. I'm not saying I wouldn't DCA or buy a little bit of dippage or buy a little, you know, some Bitcoin or whatever. Always a good day to buy some Bitcoin. I'm actually going after that, you know, what feels like maybe my final. I feel like I'm getting a little like, actually, you know what? I'm going to change my tune. My mind just said, no, Sam, you're the opportunity. You're going to make so much more that even a Bitcoin at $1 million won't be that much to you. And you'll be able to buy 10 of them and it won't be a problem. So I realized I was thinking in scarcity for some reason, and we live in abundance. And there's just no reason not to think we live in abundance. So, but you know, I do one thing so look, that to me looks like a bearish retest as you get overbought. Possibly we stay short here. Let me see my moving averages though. Yeah, we got above them. Now it says you go to the 200, right? See, that could be the bottom, and it was like a hidden divergence across a board. Sloppy hidden diverge, which I've seen. Now I'm looking at this, right? Take away this. And look, you did get the base of the triangle. Basically, 70% of the move. If I'm scalping in the 1 minute, I'll move my stop loss to break even as soon as I can. So, like, are you going to make an inverted head and shoulder here now? You see that? What key levels does Bitcoin have to hold to remain bullish? All right. And I just want to, I got to look at Bitcoin again one more time, like fresh for whatever reason. So strong daily support, 45 and 47,000, 47, 275, like we said. And, the wick right there, you could call 48, but strong daily support, 47,250. Daily overbought, what does it do? It very well make an upward trending flag while it resets. If it's very bullish, this is what we're going to see. And you'll get this rising wedge that will break out parabolically, right? This is like the most bullish scenario that Bitcoin's going to do something like this. And it's going to go parabolically out of control, out the parabola. Just this is a possibility here. This is a possibility. When you're back at 52,170, that's insane. That's strong. Very strong. People are no. They're nah. I want to buy. I like this. And they're but we're dumping on you. And they're no. And you have to remember the ETF, they just keep buying. And now they're fighting each other, and a new ETF comes out every day. Just 2 days ago, another company, filed for the ETF. It's just oh, he got one, I got one. Everyone wants one. Everyone gonna get one. And it's the most profitable ETF in the history of ETFs. The inflows to Bitcoin ETF were the most profitable in the history of Bitcoin ETFs. All right. So the idea is maybe we do go sideways here, and we don't pull all the way back to that daily 200 SMA. We just, whenever I'm that far away from the 200 SMA on the daily, it tells me to be very, very cautious. Again, I keep looking at this. That's a Jesse Livermore cylinder, really, if you ask me. And maybe we're not done yet. Okay? I do see an M, and I do see, I know I'm being weirdly bullish in a time where it's can't you see how bearish this is? And I do. You're away. All these things say we're dumping. But again, I just pulled out a short. We got a little bit out of it, and that seemed to be all we got for the day. It wasn't a lot. And there was no follow through on that short at all. Right? And I've been watching this pattern all day. Kind of a diamond here now. Somewhat of a diamond here for Bitcoin, but shout out to 1,525 people here on the live. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And tell the people where you're from in the world. Watch this. Look at the chat, everybody. Go look at the chat. Everybody, put your name where you're from. All right? And I'll still do my thing, and we'll go to whatever here and there. But watch where people are from right now. I'm Sam. I'm from Boston, right? And you can just put where you're from if you want. But watch this. When people do this, I am absolutely amazed. It goes from Zimbabwe to Romania to Bristol, right? To all over the world. It's insane. It is insane how many people are from all different parts of the world. I am just amazed. Absolutely amazed. GALA, YGG, GROK, XBR. We got a lot of super chats on the radar today. Thank you so much. That's amazing. The participation has been unbelievable. You're blessed. Vietnam, Belgium, India, North Korea, Singapore, England, Detroit, District 9, funny, Transylvania, Belgium, Nigeria, Florida, Riverside, Chicago, Baxley, Georgia, Blue from Los Angeles. It's just insane. It goes on and on. Guatemala, Brazil, Thailand, Argentina, Folsom, California, Antarctica, Dudley, Las Vegas, El Salvador, Boston, Serbia, Cal in China, the moon, Mumbai, ATL, Minnesota, Dallas, Texas, Florida, Netherlands, Timbuktu, right? Guatemala. James Nguyen, man, how old are you, bro? Wait. I got you. And you are going to be put on timeout for 24 hours. for being very immature. All right, Antarctica, North Korea, Florida, Lithuania, Space Station, Pakistan. We got you, though. I caught you in all that. See, and you didn't even get me to say it. I'm getting better at this. Ecuador, Nevada, Costa Rica, my man. Hollywood, Florida, Italy. Yo, I'm coming to Hollywood, Florida. All right, blessings on blessings, everybody. God bless each and every one of you for being here. Another winner on time. You're funny, man. Norway, Uranus. He almost got me to do it, man. Someone did it again. Pinellas, Cali, Pina. Oh, man. I don't know what he's saying there. I got to be careful. I don't know every language, too, or what they're saying in other languages. All right. Bitcoin back to 52.2. Very interesting events, to be honest. Very interesting chain of events. I'll be honest, I didn't see that coming that fast. But, you know, we do have low stochastics on the 15-minute. And they did reset. All right. And so now, you know, you're basically inside of this. Basically just defied that bearish divergence immediately. And if you have this many inflows to the market, there's a chance that Bitcoin does continue here to rip. At one point, it's going to have to come back to those 21-day moving averages. So I don't see how it can continue to make that much of a gap and not have to close the gap at one point. So maybe it goes for one more, and then it turns into the heavy. And then, you know, they're just trying to, and there's bearish divergence here. You know, I can't buy it, but I guess I got to be open-minded that anything could happen here at any moment. I'd watch this 15-minute. And me, like, I really don't, you know, we get above here, and then we retest, fine. Then I'll think about getting into a long. But not until then. I got to see us break above this $53,000 level. I made too many gains throughout this move. It's okay to miss this pump, even though I'm seeing it. It's awesome. Wow, 53, almost 53, 52.3 now. So now we go to the smaller time frames. And again, I could have just traded. It looks like we maybe, yeah, if we break above the 200 SMA and we hold it, that's my go-to lately to make an awesome trade. So watch this. There's a chance that if this candle closes above here, we're just going to continue to rip. The last time we did it, beautiful trade there, beautiful trade there, beautiful trade there, beautiful trade there, nice trade there. So like 5 in a row, if you open up a trade the second you get above the 200 SMA on the 1 minute time frame, and then you keep a stop below some type of, like this little spot right here. I try to get close to it, you know? Again, you got to figure this out for yourself, back test it, do demos on it. It doesn't happen every single time. It's not 100%, but it's just a very, you know, so like the idea is like you get in right now. I would get in right now, right? I don't know what you're doing. I'm not telling you what to do. I just want to make that clear. And I put a stop below here, all right? And the odds that I stay above this yellow line are just better than anything else. They're pretty high odds. Now, it could be one of these. It could be one of those. I like to wait for 2 or 3 candles usually to close above it, right? So look, we got this candle to close above it technically. We got that candle to close above it. And we have our third candle. It would be nice to see that close above the yellow line. If it does it, then it's very likely that we're going to get a move at least to this next area. And then there's a gap in the VRVP here. Boom. And that could be a nice little scalp trade to the upside. So the short came. We got this movement. We did get a bullish div here technically because this whole thing moves up while this whole thing moves down. Bullish divergence, reversal, right? To me, you got to stay above this 200 SMA now. Like, this is the test. If we don't, then it's like this could kind of mull over. Let's see if we can stay above that level. All right. That bounce was also at the daily open at Race on Records. Interesting. Yeah. Love you, Sam. What's your tip for a few alts to buy now? What are your top few alts to buy now? I like SEI, SUI, and Shido. The triple threes, man. Like, you know, I feel like I'm going to wish I got more of all of those when the rally really continues on. So I'm watching all of those. Those look interesting to me. So I slip over here, right? And you can see that this is starting to take place, right? So this is that idea. Bang. Stop close. And I'm just going to go to resistance, right? Now, see, that thing's already doing what it was supposed to do when it gets above the 200. You can see you're already up $200. So, like, you got to be quick on the entry, though, and you get better at this over time. All right? The idea is you'll stay, you'll likely more, now you're more likely to stay above this 200 SMA on the 1 minute time frame. Even if the Stokes are hot. Now, I like to get in when the Stokes are low, but a lot of times you can't because that's when it's breaking outside of the move. So the only thing that used to stop me from getting in these trades was high stochastic. Now that I have the more faith in the 200, I'm able to execute these trades more than I used to. And then there's still no guarantees. I got to feel it out. Like right now, I haven't got that awesome feeling yet where like there's a higher probability yet. And I also want to feel out the trade. I'm going to 52,859. My stop would have to be very, 52,167. I'd risk 17, 28. And again, like you can start risking 27 for 100 and you try the trade. It plays out. I try a little more. I place that again a little, and I do that over. It's just like demo trading in a way, right? And that's why demo trading is great here on futures here. Demo trading. And you could demo the trade this right now. And what I tell everyone is you got to have data behind what you do or you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to do it with confidence, right? So you want to be able to see something happen more often than it doesn't. Once you've established that, you can only do that by observing the market. I'll tell you what, demo trading will help you observe the market a lot better, right? And so like I'm up pretty nice in the day. I don't know, I already woke up to gains. I don't want to give my gains back. So I can risk $70 for 255, right? I don't have to be a big shot. I'll just add another $255 to my trade today. And look, this is supposed to play out. Now, there's no guarantees. The stochastics are high. That tells me, the old me never would have done this, but I've been backtesting this now for a long time, and it does play out more than it doesn't. No guarantees at all, though. I could easily just get stopped out in 2 seconds and lose $70. And you guys will laugh at me and be like, oh, that guy sucks, That's the risk I have to take every time I go live trading. All right? And that's why I can't live in fear. And I've learned that fear does not exist. You can be concerned. Anytime I'm going to use the word fear or worry, I don't use them. I use the word concern. I'm going to say that worries me. I say that concerns me. I say, oh, that's a worry. I say, no, that's a concern. There's no such thing as worry because worrying is kind of acting like something's a big deal but not doing anything about it. And I never really get emotional about the moves here because I just sit, Now the stokes are high. That tells me that we should dump on my face. You just got to see if we can hold. Now, the second we lose the 200, this whole thing is over and the idea is done. It's one of these. It's a nil. It doesn't work out. Looks like, and when the 21's a little far too, right? Better when the 21's closer to price action. And look, there we go, losing the 200. And it's funny, I show this all the time and it might not work today. But that's okay. Now, you got a lot of bots that are interested in this area. They're interested in shorting. They're interested in longing. So you're always going to have like a moment of decision near these 200 lines. You'll find there'll be resistance. There'll be support. Now that we're below it, it's likely that the trade doesn't play out. Okay? I could cut my trade off before I hit my stop with a very small loss. I could wait for it to reverse. Right? If we get back above it, now there's a really, really way better likelihood chance that I'm going to win the trade now. Because it's like they're testing that level, and then we got back above it again. All right? Now there's a really good chance I win the trade. But there's no guarantees to anything. Now look at like a smaller time frame. I like the 30-second now to see if I can get any confirmation out of something, smaller. Where am I trading, everybody? I'm trading here on MEXC. MEXC is the place to be. Why am I trading on MEXC? Because they don't charge you any fees to do it. Everyone else is going to gouge you and take half your money while you're trading. MEXC is not going to do that. They're going to basically not gouge you at all and not charge you any fees. The lowest fees of any exchange in the game, in the market, 0. When you do spot, like when I dollar cost average, I don't pay anything at all. And it's 0 if you're the maker or the taker. It's only 0.1. I mean, these are the lowest fees out of any exchange you'll ever trade. You'll absolutely love it. MEXC. All right. Check out MEXC today. All right. And that's why you don't risk too. You won't see me get liquidated on my streams. You won't see me take my whole portfolio and go all in. You won't see me even go over too high risk. I'll just chip away and continue to add to my balance. I don't need to impress anybody, not even myself. All I need to do is to compound my gains. and add a little more than I had. I just want, at the end of the week, I want to have a higher balance than I had at the beginning of the week. See how we're coming to the 21? The 21 may save me here, but I'm very, very close. It's very likely I'm going to get pinched. But there's a chance we bounce off the 21-day moving average. I've seen it, but I'm playing Russian roulette. Now there could be, look, a shoulder, a head. This could be making the right shoulder now. Now, it's weird how they've toyed with this 200 SMA. Look how close my stop was right there. That was weird. And once you're in a trade this risky, I always tell myself that it's, I could easily lose the trade. Some say now we may be in this flag, right? Kind of a weird, cup. That 21. Now we got to get through this 200 SMA again. Now it's going to be the pain. Like, now that we're above, that's clean now. Look how close my stop was on that. The 21 came in and saved me. Like it was like it was like saving grace, Now we're above the 200 again. Now come on now. Now we got to hold this position. We induced enough shorts now on that move that we should get enough stop losses above us to propel us further to the upside. You see? Now, really, the measured move actually is the length of this whole pole. I'm realizing. And that takes us all the way to about 52,800 for BTC, right? We got to hold this 200 SMA right now, all the 1 minute. So crucial for the trade to go well. It's actually rare that I'm not used to us dabbling below as much as we did. I'm used to just getting above it and watching the trade play out more than likely, or just getting stopped out. That was like a very, very crazy move. The low stochastics tell us now that we've lost some short momentum and we're ready to reflip the charts back to the upside. Low, high, higher, low, right? That's a small micro uptrend. A low, a high, higher, low. Can we put in a higher high? We get above this, then you should expect a boom. And then should expect a higher low too, which could be the next entry on a trade if you've taken profit at the next impulse. All right. Again, trading here on MEXC, the way to do that, or if you want to know how we trade, if you want to get any of the things that I'm doing, or if you want to get my trade updates throughout the day, everything that I'm doing, you want to jump into my weekly screen share, talk about token metrics, talk about the hottest coins that are coming up, go over my portfolio and all sorts of fun stuff too. Jump on in to CryptoLifer.com, hit the link right here, and that'll take you to CryptoLifer.com. CryptoLifer.com. Let me show you what that beautiful website looks like so you don't get confused with anything else. And you will get a newsletter that will come up there. But go to CryptoLifer.com, check it on out. Join the trade, join today. Get the education you deserve. I'm telling you right now, I'm here every single day, just laying it out, putting myself out there all the time, having a blast, and just absolutely loving life, all right? Look, and there's that move now above that. Now we should get this follow through to the upside now, as we're well above the 200 SMA now, and about to crack through this previous high, or we get a double top M here. We got to keep this continuation move. Stochastics in our favor to the upside. Bang, bang, bang. Trade should be now now we're in the green. We've turned that $70 loss back into the green, but we got saved by the 21. Insane. Did you see how close that stop was to my stop loss? Did you see that? Like, did you see that? And no, I don't get preferential treatment because I'm the lifer. You think I would have, but no. My stop is my stop, but that is insane how close to the bone it was. And again, we're not out of the water yet. I could still get spanked. We will see, but so far so good here. Back of the green for Bitcoin. Back in the green for the trade. Back above a key level, 52,200. And wow, we managed to find a tiny little short, which I didn't trade initially. And we're not out of the water yet. Let's see if we can continue to get this move to the upside. There's a lot of shorts to be had here. Can we squeeze these shorts? They induced a lot of fear. You could smell it. You could feel it. Who's here having fun? Who here's heart is riveting watching this, even though it's not that much money to me. I mean, it's $700 times 35x leverage. It's a $25,000 trade technically. I don't like this. I don't like this. We're not getting fall through momentum here. And look, there's bearish div there right now. Swing up, swing down on the RSI. Not a good look. Kind of want to bail on the bearish div. I see bearish divergence. The RSI is moving down. Price action moved up. Stochastics are curving halfway through. It's like we didn't get the follow through. Nice little pumpage. But now I see some sideways price action. I like small losses. $10, $5, $20, you know? We do have the 21 crossing the 200. That is a more bullish sign than a bearish sign now, as you can see. Indecision, you know, it's like, whoa, look at this candle just hanging. And I don't always live trade, and I will get to all your super chats, I promise you that. I know you might be like, well, we're just in the middle of this price action battle here. It's a bit of a double top. There's some bearish div. But we're cruising above that 200. As long as we stay above the 200, I should be good to go. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We appreciate you. And thank you for jumping on it. And I can only stare for so long. 333. Look, every time it did it right when I said it. The power of the 333. Look, I already won the trade. Oh, I'm relieved. It already happened. It's done. Blow on that puppy. Come on. It's a cup and handle, baby. Come on. I just, boom. Come on, baby. I'm visualizing it. You already did it. Just pump to the upside, baby. You got this, sweetheart. You rub it like a kid. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You got this. Look, cup and handle. It's a Sammy cup and handy to the upside. Why we in waiting here? Just show me that I can win the trade. Get me paid on live camera. Do the right thing. Let's make this happen here. All right, work with me here. I got subscribers here. All right. Make me look good, baby. Shoot it to the upside. Flatten the shorts. Send in a whale. Anybody. Call a whale. Call your buddy. Let's go. Let's go. Tone Vase, man. Call your whale buddies, man. I'm blowing down. Oh, this guy's horrible. What a horrible person. I don't even want to think like that. I'm not even hearing that. That doesn't exist to me. It doesn't exist to me. What a battle in this 1 minute candle. Like, it just can't even, like, of course, it's just like, and it's going to be mid-time in the middle of the day on a Thursday. It's tough, you know? Wow. I can't take it. I just can't take the tension. I can't take the tension anymore. It's getting to me. I'm gonna blow. I'm just gonna blow. You blow when you're in. Yeah, it's funny. No, I don't blow. I'm just joking around. I'm just joking around. I'm messing with you guys. You have to remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. All right? You blowing trading? This guy. Yes, I can't take it anymore. A $70 trade just ruins me. You know. No, it's okay. I usually walk away at this point and just go get a sandwich. You know what I mean? Like, hey, let me get a sandwich over here. Right? All right, let's get into the super chats because time is a wasting. Time is a wasting. All right, we have Turbo. I went over Turbo already. Let's take a look at NOIA. All right. Centropy on KuCoin. All right, so the last time I put it out, I was looking for a move further to the upside. I saw this tightness, right? Blasted out. Then I did that like Twisted Sister thing on like some smaller time frame. It went sideways. You would take away this once it goes sideways. All right. And then you'd readjust your pattern, right? Because you could see, okay, it did something more like that. Seemed like it made this, fell out, came back inside. So like it made a beautiful ascending. They grabbed all the stops. And then they flipped the price to the upside. You can see that, right? A lot of times, put some buys where your stops would have been. Like, look at a chart. Say, I would have put some stops right where the buys are. And, you know, I can't take not looking at that thing. Oh, there it goes. Now, do I see? I mean, it's a more elongated bearish div now that doesn't look good. That's likely going to dump on me. That's bearish divergence, right? I mean, swing down to swing down. That's swinging up. Well, you could say that the bearish div try to play out and it's trying to make its way. Nah. I feel like we had our chance. It didn't happen. But, oh well. Maybe next time. You know? Case closed. Maybe next time. No, as long as we stay, as long as we stay above the 200 SMA, the long is still approved. The second we lose that, the long is not approved anymore. It's that simple for me. It's that black and white. It's that black and white. All right. Let's get back into Centropy. NOIA. So had a beautiful move to the upside. The target I had was 17. Went above that to 20. Came back down. So let's take. I remember putting it out like this. Remember, and I put the 2 alerts, and it hit my target at 17. Congratulations to anyone that jumped on in. That was something I put in the trading. I just saw that consolidation, right? So now what? Well, I would look at it all by itself on the daily time frame. Bang, right? So, to me, it had a beautiful pump. It's weird. I'm like double clicking. And it had a beautiful pump, but it's overbought on all the time frames. And it's away from its 21-day moving average. Just really far away. I'd be pulling a Fibonacci and waiting for that to come to the golden pocket. Or the 786 fib. Like these two levels, I'd be looking to load up in there if I like this coin. But for me, it has to pull back. Doesn't mean it's going to for sure. There's a chance it does go sideways, makes a symmetrical triangle, continues on its way. You know? But it will have to interact with this 21-day moving average in all its entirety, in my humble opinion. All right? This trade has been crazy, right? But it's starting to load up. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Wow, it's green. I didn't expect it to be green. Right when I said that. Right? Well, just not at that moment. I expect to win every trade I open. That's what you got to expect to win every trade that you open. You have to expect that. Whether it happens or not, you must expect that. Right? They're toying with the market today, though. It's in chop right now. But, you know, of anything above 52.2 in the general big idea is a nice look. And this is kind of, look, is that a shoulder? Is this a head? Is this a right shoulder? I've seen, you know, shoulder, elongated, you know, chunky head, right shoulder, break to the upside. Wow, how fast you can lose $18 though, huh? You must like give up the greed of money to make money. It's interesting. If you're so greedy about money, then you can't lose it, then you can't use it to win it. You know, it's weird. It's like, I learned all these interesting mental, like playing with money will change your mind. It'll change the way you know about yourself. It'll change the way you think about everything in the world. Like, it's really interesting. If you do go become a professional trader and that's what you do for a living, is like really just watch money all day and understand how money is influenced by people's emotions. It's more almost, I feel like when you become a trader, you become a psychologist. You have to have some psychology because you're always dealing with what's moving a market, right? And again, even if I'm bot trading just a 200 SMA and I'm watching the charts, I understand that all these inferences and all these movements and all these vibrational energies in trading, they come from a human emotion. That's the origin of everything we're seeing on the charts now. It's inputted by the human emotion. That's why the system that I use, you could trade any market in the world because it's the same input coming into whether it's Forex, whatever you're doing, right? Oh, and now you lose it. And see, if you come in, now you're coming to test the 200, and that's usually when the trade's a no-go. And look, you're starting to lose market structure. You can only keep elongating, like, you know, I can't do that anymore. So that's it. And look, you lost the 200. Unless you get back above quick, the trade's over. It's kind of a relief, too. It's like, okay, what happened was supposed to happen. You know? Look, that's kind of an M now, kind of an Adam and Eve double top, right? I can't get saved by the 21 this time. I'm below it. You get it? And that's usually when you start to roll over, a curving in the moving averages. If I win this trade, so be it, but it doesn't look amazing. I'll tell you that. It doesn't look amazing. And we'd have to get back above that 200 faster than fast, which we did again. We keep toying with it. It's like, what are people, the whole world using my strategy, and they keep going after the stop losses right below the 200. This is funny, right? Just eerily weird how many times they brought it back off, brought me to daylight, only to crush us back to the downside. But keep playing this chop. So we're in some serious chop today. I still have to stress that the daily looks like it has to come back to that 21. The small time frames are playing with me, but the bigger time frames are telling me there has to be a bigger pullback at one point. This is consolidating pretty nicely. I'll give it to the market though. If this keeps up, there's more likelihood of a move to the upside if it continues to consolidate to the up and down. Like if this pumps back up to the top, comes back, and we start this same process again up to the 52,350 area. Bitcoin's so interesting to me today. Price action. Anyway, so there's NOIA. Bang. Let's take a look at our baby NAKA. I'm a big holder in NAKA. I mean, big enough for me. Some people probably would laugh at my bags, but so I looked at NAKA. When NAKA came back close to the 618, I decided I had to grab as much as I could. 125, 130, 140. I grabbed a bunch of NAKA. I was buying somewhere down in here too, and boom, we got a nice pump to 2. You know, my target is 337 over time. Do we start to collapse? I mean, the daily doesn't look amazing, but I look at my 3-day chart, which, yeah, has some legs. Let's take a look at NAKA. Let me get rid of everything and look at it arbitrarily, open-mindedly. All right. So NAKA, I mean, it did, you know, came back. Let's see. Like, is there a bigger pullback coming for NAKA, or is this thing just on its way to the moon? Never retested any support that it had. It kind of like, you could say this is the only area that it did. So it's got to support at 125. I don't know who would want to sell their NAKA off unless something, you know, Black Swan or something weird goes on. And it's on a beautiful trajectory to the upside. The weekly's just getting started. So like the weekly tells you this is when you start accumulating these coins. Right down there was an accumulation. Right here was an accumulation. There was a little bit of a bend, and then there. I mean, so interesting enough. I mean, and you got a hidden bullish divergence on the weekly, right? So the big time frame here tells me that, you know, a bigger move is coming. And also, I look at total 3, which I'm going to reveal to you guys again, which I'll show every day until we get rejected by it. And there's Bitcoin struggling now at 52,250. So, you know, on bigger leverage, that trade did play out. Like, you were in the green a few times, right? I didn't get what I was looking for, so I'm not going to take measly, you know, I wasn't going to take the crumbs, but, you know. So, you know, again, 5-day chart just getting started. I see a bigger move up here to 350, and then maybe, you know, a bigger pullback at one point. But yeah, I'm very bullish on NAKA. I like what I'm seeing for it on the bigger time frames. It's got to square itself away a little bit on the daily, but I like what I'm seeing here for NAKA on the 5-day and the weekly. And I see only bigger moves coming up to 350. I own NAKA, a big bag of it, so of course I may be a little more bullish bias there, but, you know, they didn't tell me to say that. I don't know the team. I'm my own dude, just doing myself, you know, be me and myself. CETUS, I like CETUS because it's the SUI decentralized exchange that could make some gains. I've been watching it. The 5 days a little high, though. It's been on somewhat a move. The daily had a beautiful move, but now it's, you know, it's getting a little, but it's sideways. Looks like it may get challenged here and come back down inside the pattern at this level. You just don't want to see it lose this key level of support in this upward trend line, right? That's all. Take a look at your 4-hour time frame, and it's getting oversold again, though, showing signs that it's likely going to bounce and hold inside of the pattern. So CETUS is something I'm definitely watching. I feel like it's only a matter of time. You know, might take 2 to 4 weeks, something like that, but I see a 66% move or something bigger coming for CETUS 2 once SUI really starts to blow up. So that's my, like, you know, the backdoor SUI play is CETUS on my radar. All right. C6, someone asked me if I could do a deep dive onto, like, basically what price action, like how high it could go, right? Now, sad thing, the only thing I have to go on C6 as a browser is the Brave browser, which I'm using right now. And I will tell you, the Brave browser is a beautiful product. It has its own wallet. It has its own VPN. It's a great, awesome product and has a lot going for it. At the same time, not enough people know about it. Not enough people use it. It blocks all the ads you're watching on YouTube. It's the best way to watch any type of game or anything that you need to get in on the low. Like, it's the best. I use it. I've been using it for probably 4 years, probably. I don't know, for a long time now. Okay. So the idea is this, right? C6 is a competitor. It's called Carbon Browser. It's a way to browse the internet, right? And so let's kind of take a look at what they're saying, you know, the deep dive. Now, I went on that idea that I already like Brave browser, which is the BAX coin, right? Let's take a look at C6. Carbon Browser, number 730, all right? So we have 81 cents, 08, right? 8 cents. And it's $25 million market cap. Now, I already have a $2,000 position in this. I will make it clear. It might be about 18 or 19. I've been holding this coin for a long time, okay? I've been holding this coin somewhere from like November or, yeah, somewhere around November, December, all right? 31% of the supply is out, which ain't bad, you know. You get some dumpage, but not too bad. It has a BNB smart contract address, so you can get it on PancakeSwap, which makes me happy. I like that. I want to see more of that, you know. Introducing Carbon, the fastest Web3 browser, decentralized with ad block, DVPN, a crypto wallet, better privacy, and many other features that you can use now. All right. So it's the competitor to the Brave browser. All right. Your favorite Web3 dApps, customized bookmarks, earn rewards in the go, move over big tech. You know. So again, it says, you know, and it says it's better than Brave. 0.5 seconds. They're 2.3 seconds. Faster than all of these others. Okay. The fastest browser in the game, downloads to date, 7 million daily active users. All right. So, and again, funny for me, for I holding it, I haven't downloaded because I'm a Brave guy. All my stuff's on Brave, right? I got to get into Carbon Browser, though, and start using it a little bit. I agree. But so I believe the only thing about it is Brave didn't do too well in the last few runs. Like, it went from like 10 cents to 40 cents or something, but it didn't do amazing. Like, it didn't break the bank. It wasn't like, oh my God, you know? So I don't know. My only case study didn't do too well. But that doesn't mean, but I think C6 is more underground. More people have that vibe with it. I hear it more in these, you know, in the Discords and it's got that, you know, it's got that vibe. So, you know, I'm looking at Magic Square recently too, just something I was looking at. Let me get back into where we were though, C6 here. So with a very small market cap, 25, I think something like this could easily, I mean, if you look at where is Brave Browser now, right? Which is BAX, right? What am I? The BAT token, BAT, Basic Attention Token. It's got a $359 million market cap, right? So that's a 10x from what we're looking at right now. So we can easily 10x from there, C6. I believe it could 30 to 50x for sure. 25 to 50x Carbon Browser, in my humble opinion. Without a doubt in my mind. All right. Definitely something that is very, very possible. All right. You know, this trade's starting to look better and better. You know, now you got a double bottom. And you got really nice consolidation. See, this is where I start getting comfortable with the double down. Like, I've been, like, you know, they've gutted me a couple times and they never got me out of the trade. Look how close I've been. Again, still doesn't mean I'm going to win this puppy, but that's a double bottom, is it not, with a higher low? We just got to break this resistance at 52,400, baby. 52.4, and we're gone. We'll be able to pump at least through this. There's a fast move here. We'll move really fast up to 52.7. It'll be quick. And we'll win the trade, and we'll say we did it again, and everyone will be like, oh. And we can denounce all the haters, you know, that we don't have any, though. It's all love here. I don't even know what that word is. It's blessings on blessings. We've helped too many people, and too many people come back to the stream, and the stream's just full of so many people that have made gains with me, learned with me, met me in real life, and that want to live their best life and be just be in a good mood and be positive. So blessings on blessings to everybody here. I appreciate you all. So with a market cap of 25, I believe we can definitely, this is a 50x potential, this coin. And that's why I've got $2,000 in it. That could turn into 100,000. I could turn $2,000 into 100,000, right? I'm not saying I'm guaranteed to do that. I'm not selling you fast money, and I'm just saying, and it could take a year and a half. So at lowest web 3 times faster, saves 95% of user data, and provides smooth browsing even with a weak connection, all while taking up 5.6% less space on devices compared to our competitors. It's a private and secure web browser for Android devices and soon for iOS, Mac, and PC. Currently available on Android, Test Flight, and iOS Store, desktop, PC, and Macintosh OS. All right. They said they're going to burn it soon too, but they haven't done it yet. Plan to burn 50 million C6. Carbon browser. So you get what it is. You see kind of, it is what it is, right? Now, can you use the token to pay for the browser? All that fun stuff. That's something I haven't, what's the incentive? Now, I just bought it because I like the browser, and I know they're going to use the coin in some way. I really don't care how they're going to use the coin. I just know the coin represents the browser. The browser gets hot, the coin's going to go up. It's kind of like a narrative play, right? But they have a real use case, and they have a real you can actually use the product, right? To me, that's a big deal. I'm not buying some or some long story about how it's connected to Web3 and it's going to save the world, right? I want to see, let me see it. Let me touch it. Let me feel it. Trending tokens, LUNC, SAT, even, AP3I and SEI. AP3I we put out on my trading group, up huge on that setup. We've been looking at this coin on and off for the last year and a half. So what could this do? I mean, yeah, I think it could easily get to $1 billion market cap. I don't see why not. And 10xing brings it to a 250. A 40x would be $1 billion market cap. If it hits like a 650 to a 700, we're looking at a 30x somewhere around there. So yeah, that's why I keep $2,000 in this coin, and I believe it could do numbers for sure. C6, man, and that's kind of my idea, So what would the price be for that? Let's take a look at that. I didn't answer that, right? 8 cents. So we're looking at, 80 cents for the 10. We're looking at maybe possibly $3 coin, $3. I mean, that's insane, right? That would be quite a rally for this coin, but I believe it could do it. Nobody really knows about it. It's got a very small market cap. At the same time, it's going to have to really become a competitor to get some market share. People have to know about it. Marketing has a lot to do with how much you can make on this coin. And again, with a lot of other coins, but not as much. Some other coins just get hyped. Like this coin, they really need to market that product for it to kind of take off. And then it needs to take off, right? So, and yes, it will have some adoption through crypto itself. Like I bought it just because I was like, cool. But, only time will tell. It is on a beautiful trajectory since Valentine's Day there. But only time will tell. I would go for the 20x call. Like if I can turn the $2,000 into 40,000, I'll be pretty happy and I'll probably walk away. I don't know if I'm going to hold out for 30 to 50x every time on every coin. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying you should be taking as financial advice. And please get yourself a financial advisor. And do your own due diligence. Look now. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. I'm out. That's a right shoulder. I'm out of that trade. Right? I'm done. That tells me that trade's going to not go my way. Correct? So, I don't know. It looks here, but that looks like a right shoulder to me. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. I'm out. And I see the Stokes turning. I'm flash close. Or do I just bring the risk down to if it breaks the neckline, I'm out? If it breaks the 200 one more time, it's like, come on, man. That's a head and shoulder. I would short that right shoulder 100% of the time. Makes me, I don't want to take a small loss. That looks like a right shoulder short, and the Stokes are turning. Done. And you couldn't get above the key level. Head and shoulder, baby. Goodbye. I'm out. I don't need to lose more money when I see a head and shoulder pattern. I believe in it. 100% of the time, that's going to tank. I don't need to fake that. Oh, what do they do? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's got to dump. I'm out. I don't have to call the short as much as I could just cover thy purse, right? and you're going to fall right through. Now you're losing the 200 stop on the other side. Now you go the other way. All right. I don't know. It's just I'm in the mood to do that right now. Watch them play with it. Bring it back up again. Who knows, man? I've been spoiled lately. My trades have been in the green and gone like the right way. Actually, yesterday took all day. Yesterday took us all day to make that trade, you know? But I'm out. I take that as 100% that's going to dump. If it doesn't, so be it. There's a 32% chance it doesn't. And we're still inside this tight little pennant. So crazy, right? Anyway. Let's take a look at SOPH. I think we looked at this like a couple months back too, right? Let's take a look. And you live and die by the sword. You know, it's like what you do, you do. Like, I don't like second guess everything I do. I do it and I walk away. It's over, man. I don't have time, right? Like, you know, I definitely, like, if I hurt someone's feelings, I try to make amends, and then, you know, I attempt not to think about it again. If, you know, I do ruminate, but I know that's why I try to just move on. Working out helps that. Just work out. So this got above the 200 SMA on the 4 hour. Usually you can get a nice pump after that. I don't like this price action on this at all the wicks everywhere, and I'm just not a fan. But this, maybe it does numbers, and you found a great project. I personally won't trade it, you know, but it is bullish when things get above the 200 SMA on the 4 hour. I'll tell you that. And the daily could make that gap up to its 200 SMA. Tried it already here on, you know. Seems like it's attempting to bottom, but I don't know. Not my cup of tea, man. All right. But thank you for bringing it up. And it may be a bottom, and I may be wrong, and it might be 100x, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. I am not trying to tell you that I am the end-all of all knowledge here. I'm just a guy who does my best every day. Sometimes I might be tired, and I'm not as good as I was the day before, right? Sometimes, you know, who knows? I'm a human being. I'm never going to be absolutely exactly the same every day. I'll be the best I can, and I'll show up every single day. That's what I can promise. But after that, who knows where we end up, right? Look what I see for MYRO. I mean, I traded one of these on a meme coin. It played out really nicely. I found a beautiful Adam and Eve sitting there on Pepe, and it just blasted. This tells me that MYRO is going to move. And MYRO did bottom down there at 4 cents, and it's already back to 10. And it boomed up all the way to almost 11 cents. So a quick little double up there in a half, 2.5x for MYRO. We did call the dump. Remember when we told you MYRO was going to come back to the 21 SMA? Same thing as Bitcoin right now. Like, things get too high, they have to come back to the 21. That's what happens. Then if it loses the 21, you come all the way back down to usually the 200 on the daily or the 12, whatever time frame has it. You know, and there you go. Then you lost the 200. You're below it. Once you get above the 200, you're going to rip. Same scenario here. So you get an Adam and Eve. To me, it definitely could be the bottom for MYRO. And Adam and Eves are really, really awesome. Whenever I buy them, they pay out pretty nicely. So I wouldn't be surprised if MYRO continues to pump to the upside. Stokes are a little high. I'd wait for them to reset in conjunction with that and maybe find a flag around here. But MYRO looks interesting. And once it continues, its next stop is 30 cents. So that would be a triple up for MYRO from here. We got into MYRO, remember, back in 2 cents. So we'd still be holding a 5x from when we first got into MYRO, which is pretty crazy. And we, you know, I swung traded throughout here a couple times. So let's take a look at XPR, which I'm not sure what that is. Let's take a look at XPR. Oh yeah, Proton though. But there's XRP, XPR, and XPRT and stuff like. So funny. The XPR network. So whenever I look at something, I look at it on the weekly without any moving averages, and I take out any indicators mainly, and I just look at price action. So this thing came out, you know, hard launch in July, sold off, pump, sold off. So like it keeps losing key support zones, right? And it's super beat. Its low was like a half a penny or triple, I don't know. I guess you can make quick money on it because it's so low. Now this coin, I remember this coin. It was around like years ago, a year or two ago. It was like a KuCoin gem and all that. We used to swing it. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what it does. I don't really want to deep dive it today. All right. If I deep dived every coin, then I wouldn't have a brain cell left to think or eat food, right? So like, I have to eventually kind of put those things aside. Inside of somewhat of an ascending triangle, and could pump up here to what, like 0.18, 0.17. Kind of a shoulder. It's like, where's the right shoulder there though? I don't have a lot of faith in it, but the weekly says you've hit a bottom. And this is your perfect time to buy. If you believe in the project, you DCA when the weekly's low. 3-day chart says you can get, you might kind of consolidate more. So honestly, I see sideways price action for this puppy for at least a couple more weeks, if anything. All right. And I could be wrong. I'm not 100%. Let's take a look at GROK or GROK. Or I don't know what you guys call it. We traded. Remember when it first came out? When memes first started? This is like one of the first memes ever on my live. And I bought it here. And I was up 200. I was like, I'm out. I would have made like thousands of dollars, but I didn't know what was happening. And next thing you know, it came down. And now it's got a rounded bottom. I wouldn't touch this coin anymore, man. I think it's garbage. All right. Personally, it's hard for me to do TA on things that I think are garbage. It did a rounded bottom. It's got resistance. If it gets above 0.086 and it does a bounce, it then has potential to kind of start climbing the ladder. But right now, it just continues to kind of fold, and it got a little bit of a pump. So I guess people got excited. Like, oh, my bags. And like all memes did it so well. Like WIF did well. Like last couple of days, there was a lot of meme action for whatever reason. And that's a strong candle. Like you now have support at, you got to zoom in and look, but now you have support here at 0.3565. And here, right there. So yeah, you'd slap on your moving averages, look for price action to kind of make a flag here or something. 8-hour, look for the 8-hour to flip the 200 SMA. Once it does that, look for a pump. So I'd be watching the 8-hour, the 6-hour, and I'd be looking how they're interacting with the 200. So here's the deal. If I was going to trade this, I'd wait for this to come to the 21 on the 6. If it makes a flag and it stays above that support, I'm in there like swimwear at least to there. But I'm not touching this thing. It's not there's certain coins I don't like to trade for whatever reason. Yield Guild Games. All right. Adam and Eve double bottom that I looked at. It kind of slumped. It did fall out of this and dropped, right? Rising wedges break to the downside, but it held. Let's take a look here. What's Bitcoin doing on that head and shoulder, everybody? Still pulling back. Stayed back. It caught itself back inside, but made another right shoulder, another low, and then played with the 200 again. It's getting wacky, I'll tell you. And it is getting tighter and tighter, like a move is happening soon. Bitcoin's going to break out soon, either up or down. I see that as a head and shoulder pattern that just says it's going to dump on me. Almost like, I've never done this before, but it's like, almost like, is that a teensy shoulder? Is that a head? Is that, the shoulder head? And it's like, see, it's like Bart Simpson, if anything, right? It's a Bart Simpson head. But they've been toying with the market so much, I wouldn't be surprised if they just ripped this thing to the upside. Wow, look at that. That looks so aggressive now. They keep luring me in, making me want to trade this. And my stop wouldn't have got hit too. I'd still be in this trade technically, right? Look, there it goes. If they squeeze this short now they're back above the 200. Now my thing says that you have to law it. So like they're just playing with this idea. Even I get mixed signals, everybody. Eventually, you just do what you can. You're just a person that either makes a trade or doesn't. Simplify things in your life. How did a guy become a good trader? He just made more better trades than less, And he had he basically kind of was disciplined. What makes a person, what makes a trade a trade? Just taking the trade. Not being afraid of the trade, right? Not being afraid of the outcome of the trade. Look, I almost got descending vibes too now. Very interesting. I feel like the whole world is short, man, and they're going to liquidate them all to 53K. as BlackRock continues to buy all the Bitcoin in the game, you know. Speaking of which, just to prove a point, I think I put like $500 in Terra Classic, and look, it made me $200. Isn't that insane? You know what I mean? Just because I was like, all right, that's easy going to make me some money, right? So look, I'm going to sell that, right? So I put $500, turned it into $200. Actually, you know, if I leave that for a long time, that might actually turn into some massive gains. Maybe we bought them Terra Classic. You never know. But what I'm going to do is I'm always chasing another BTC. Always, right? Every day is a chase for one more Bitcoin. And right now I got 0.91, all right? So I need 0.09 really to get, right? Which is a lot. It's $4,700. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take $2,000 of it down right now. On my way to one more BTC, all right? I'll mark it. To me, I'm buying the dip. You know what I mean? Like, these dips are few and far between, and they're going to get smaller and smaller. Right now, anything lower than 60K is a steal. Like, keep kind of changing my mentality over Bitcoin. Okay? Now I got 0.95. You know, millions of people will never, ever have 0.95 Bitcoin in their lives. Like, that will be it, you know? And you guys see me I just keep buying more, right? And I buy altcoins too. I'll show you my portfolio tonight. If you want to come and join my screen share, every single Thursday night, we sit for about between an hour and 40 to 3 hours. Last time was like 3.5 hours long. It was insane. If you're ready for something like that, jump on in. All right. If you love what you do and you want to hang out with people that are just so passionate about crypto, you're going to have a blast. All right. YGG. So, nice little bottom back above the 200. Let's get rid of the moving averages for a second. It's got some like nice support here at 37. It's very oversold in the weekly. It could go lower the way, but it's bouncing off of support. Looks interesting. Like it found a nice little bottom there. 5-day chart has some moves. The daily just kind of but it broke out of this falling wedge. That over time has a bigger trajectory. Hit a resistance, and the daily's overbought. Now I swoop on the moving averages and just get more info. There's a little bit right there. So, I mean, you're away from the 21. So you're just, again, like, same idea here. I'm looking for this sideways price action. All right. This brings me to total 3, the thing I wanted to bring up today on the 5-day chart. So, you know, as long as total 3 stays above this yellow line, so like basically any altcoin you get into, stop loss below here. So even if Bitcoin gets a pullback, it'll be good for altcoins. People could start buying some altcoins with the, you know, people could be selling Bitcoin for altcoins now. You have to remember that. Even my, someone I asked the other day is like, I got a Bitcoin, but I made some gains. He's like, should I start moving that into some other coins? You know, that's what people think immediately. They want to start moving in. They want to make gains. All right. I'm all about preserving wealth over the long term with Bitcoin and not being super, like, I'm not all about the riskiest play every time. My money doesn't always have to be tripling, quadrupling, and doing backflips. Like, there's many times where I send my money out to do that, and there's many times where I want it to kind of, you know, I don't want to rest it too long. You know what I mean? I don't sit there on piles of cash. It's not the smartest thing to do. But what I mean is I don't always put every single dollar I have into heavy risk. There's time and place, right? But as long as we stay above this 200 SMA on the 5-day chart, this is the total market cap of all the altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. We have a really good, this is alt season. This is how alt season begins. Look at the last alt season. It began right here in July of 2020, and it was a massive alt season. And it starts with this exact signal that I'm showing you when you get above the 200 SMA on the 5-day chart. So this goes below, alt season's called off, you know, there's whatever, and we're going to get lower prices. As long as we stay here, and then as long as we stay above 500 billion, which is the cutoff point too, that halfway mark, we're going to have ourselves a pretty big alt season. So just pay attention to this and be wary of this idea. This is something that I'm going to reiterate to you every few days. And it just tells us that there could be a really serious, bigger move coming here for the whole markets. Despite the eeriness and despite that it looks like we're going to short and despite everyone's like, oh, we're going down. Even I see, hey, we're in a territory where we're way far from the 21. Like, things are getting extended for sure. All right. But that's something you really want to just remember. I feel bad for the people that left. We had 1,500 people. We have less now. Because that's like the whole point of the show today is how to find out whether because it's like life-changing wealth is made through multiples. The best multiples are through altcoins in any market in the world right now, period. I don't care what you're in. And the best way it is to get in at the lows and be able, and that the 5-day 200 SMA is going to we got on the lows below that, but it's going to show you where we're likely going to continue to move. All right. Okay. I'm glad I got into crypto when I did because it's been a turning point for me financially. Been my best decision so far. For me too as well. So GALA, big Adam and Eve double bottom. Is GALA dead though, right? Is it worth holding on to at this point? I mean, from the lows at the 1.2 up to the highs at 3.5 and now it's sitting at 2.7. I believe GALA has a lot going for it, but I mean, it's eventually got to show us something, right? More and more every day, someone loses more faith in this project for whatever reason. Whenever there was that discrepancy between the owners and then from there. So had a beautiful bump and it got slowly sold off and it just hasn't been able to really make the multiples of the rest of the market. That is an Adam and Eve double bottom of sorts in my humble opinion. And I do own GALA and I still stay with it, but you never know. All right. Let's take a look at it. Injective protocol. And Injective, one of my babies. I stake it. I love it. I hold it. I believe it could do numbers. I like Injective. And I see it's oversold in the 5-day chart. It's got some hidden bullish divergence. It's bouncing off support for multiple 15 days. People stake it, so they grab it, they stick it, staking it. They're not sitting there watching it on the exchange as much as other coins. It gets basically sold less and bought more. This gives it more of an edge to the rest of the market. It also gives you about 13%, 14%, and even more depending on the commission that you pay. It may be 12, but it depends, This coin is hot. It's at support. It never even got it to the golden pocket, I think, because it had so much movement. It may. If it does, I would buy more. I like this thing. I see it going to 65, 79, not too long from now. Again, like I showed you, you're watching the total 3, and you're watching that 200 SMA on total 3, and that really is going to depict a lot. And as long as that holds, this is going to continue to move. So that's really going to be your outlier for your altcoins. All right. And no one taught me that. I figured this out all on my own one day, playing with total 3, using 200 SMAs. And then I started using the 5-day. And I have my go-to charts for my go-to times that tell me certain things to do with large amounts of money. The more amount of money you have, the bigger the time frame you have to use. All right. And that becomes kind of what you're doing. You're flipping, you're sliding on very, very, very big time frames. Okay. We'll look at Maple MPL on Tether coming to this 618 Fibonacci level, and it's very oversold in the 5-day chart. Same thing kind of going on for this thing. I like where it's at on the bigger time frames. Could it go lower and bounce? Yeah, it doesn't have the best support here. It could go lower. Its daily may be overbought like a lot of other things. Yeah, and that may want to propel it lower. So not amazing. Actually, at a daily resistance, it can't seem to get back out of this zone. Maple. And it's been slowly getting bled off from that high it hit at 22, somewhere back in December 2nd. I don't know about this project. I don't own any. I don't believe in it. It's not on my portfolio. It's not even on my radar. I guess you like it if you do. And again, I could be wrong. It might be the hottest thing since sliced bread. I don't know. I don't never want to be rude when I don't know about something. It doesn't mean that it's not hot. It just means there's thousands of coins and somehow, some way that one didn't come across my radar, right? That's just, that's what it comes down, what it boils down to, right? The measured move would take you to 29. When I put out a measured move, I'm not saying it's going there for sure, but that's where you would go if you begin to break out. Smart move if you like Maple. And, sometimes this is what I do. I cover. So say I was in a position and I thought something was hot. I got it here. Then I got it here. And then I'm down hard. All right? And I really like the position. I don't touch the position. Say I have $5,000 of it. But what I'll do is I'll take 10 grand, wait for this to get above a key area. Once it hits, I'll jump in. When it comes up, I'll swing it. And what that'll do is it'll pay for maybe the pain of losing or wherever I'm at in the original position. I might take some of that profit, put it back in that, or just walk away with that swing trade, which I usually do, and go somewhere else. What it does for me is it's like the coin paid me back for the position. If I made $5,000 and the position's $5,000, I'm kind of break even on that position now through a swing trade. I do that a lot. So I basically manipulate a trade for a swing trade. I'll be like, all right, I'm going to go after the swing trade on this. I'm not going to touch the bigger position, but I'm going to make that swing trade pay me for that position. And that way I can leave the position alone and it doesn't mentally gnaw at me. I don't care about it anymore. I kind of checkmated it in my own way, right? That way, if I get into a coin a little late or a little, you know what I mean? And I still want to put more into it too, I can swing trade a large amount on a swing trade. Take that out, and it will feel as if I 10x the coin. You get it? There's just kind of, you know, little things that I have to do because I love to get in at the very bottom. And if I don't get at the very bottom, I get a little, I want to be perfect on my entries every time, right? So I'm watching render, bit of a double top. I'd like to see it turn into an ascending triangle and then blast to the upside. 488. We knew render was just going to continue to rip ever since it was down here. 40 cents. I mean, it's a 10x. Now when this thing does a 10x, it can 100x. So like a lot of people are going to 100. I believe it was a lot easier to 100x this bear market than it was in any other bear market in my life. Because like all you had to do was buy the low of something, and there's a high chance you're going to 100x here. And that wasn't the case in the last rally as much. Like you had to really you had 20x, 30x, 40, you know, but now, I mean, all this thing has to do, look, you got it at 40 cents. If this goes to $40 and it 10x's from here, I mean, you're 100xing, right? So it's pretty awesome. So render, you know, inside of this tight channel, I'd like to see it just continue sideways. My target for render is $8.49. Yeah, $8.50 really for render. And I see that's very likely. If it breaks out on retest, that's an entry. It goes sideways here, it's an entry. If it loses this enough to fall, it's an M pattern, and that could happen. Then I'd be looking for entries somewhere down at 276. And that would take Bitcoin to dump pretty hard on the whole market to kind of think get a bit of a move. Gamer Swap, GAU, right? Which is on Token Metrics. We saw it last night. GAU token. And that's on Avalanche, I believe, which would be Trader Joe. Looks like it pumped and skedaddled, right? Is this the same coin, though? I don't know for sure. Gamer Arena. Yeah, it is on Avalanche C chain, has that big divot in it. I'll look at it on the deck screener. This way you can just take someone's contract address, paste it in, and look at the coin this way. So while I had a huge run up, we looked at it, you know, it's funny, Token Metrics called it out last night, and I looked at it, but certain things I can't just run into everything, you know. 1 penny, ran up to 16 cents. Wow, it really did that, though. It did a 16x overnight. Dang. So I knew about it last night at like, let's see, on the 1 hour. All right, so it doesn't matter. I didn't know about it until it was like here somewhere. But wow, I felt like we did hear about this coin, though. I bet if you scan my Token Metrics, you see it was on the list last week. But it was a penny, and it would go all the way to 16 cents. So it did a 16x. A lot of the stuff I just move on from, you know, unless I really believe the project is amazing, and it may be, right? I'd have to really deep dive it. On that wick buy up, that's interesting, kind of like a whale wick buy. Fibonacci hit, come back, might come back to the golden pocket one more time, but that's interesting. Like, that could be a secondary bottom for it. High risk, high reward, everybody. You know, $21 million market cap, very, very beginning coin, right? Very small liquidity. Just be careful, all right? I don't want to, like, be advertising this type of stuff. What's up, GFL? Can you take a quick look, Sam? Thanks for all that you do. I really got to get out of here for the day. I'm way over time. It's going to have to be the last two, everybody. You know, ALT, USDT. I don't know why we keep going over time lately. I don't try to. I really don't. I can't believe it what time it is right now. I'm amazed. Now you're looking at alt. Are you looking at ALTLAYER? I think you want ALTLAYER, right? You got to type in ALTLAYER just because the other alt isn't, you know. So Adam and Eve double bottom for ALTLAYER said it was going to pump, and it did. I mean, these things just play out so much. Like, they don't always do perfectly, but they play out. ALTLAYER was an air job given, right? And it was hot. I like the project personally and think it could do numbers. It got tight and it broke out too when it was low here at about 33. Pumped to 43, came back. As long as ALTLAYER stays above this resistance and uses it as support at 37, I could see it doing something interesting. Let's take a look at our daily. Can't even look at it on the daily, which is, you know, good and bad in a way. But so look, previous support becomes resistance. Look for a breakout this little flag to the upside. Look for it to make possibly some type of flag bigger here. I see a move for this eventually to the upside, though. Possibly a swing trade, too. I like ALTLAYER. The coin just sits well with me. Every time I've traded it, it's traded well. And yeah, I get a good feeling when I think about this coin. I can't explain that. And I don't trade on feelings, but, you know, I do trade on instinct. My instinct, you know, the setups have been good for this coin. Moving averages, if they will bless us. There they go. Not a lot. Scant, right? 1 hour, they're close enough. Needs to kind of bring this up and get tighter, though. Look for consolidation on ALTLAYER. I keep an alert right around here, and I'll keep kind of moving the alert as I watch it. All right. Games for a living, one of our old but goody coins we've been holding for a long, long time. Continues to bleed on us, too, like slow bleed on these sellers. But it needed a pullback on a massive rally. Every single coin you see does pull back. And it pulled back to the 706 and the golden pocket. So right now it's just sitting in what looks to me like a beautiful accumulation zone. From this impulse to that, right down at the 706 Fibonacci level, probably kind of right almost in the golden pocket. And I own a lot of this coin, and, you know, I haven't added to it. I've just owned so much. I've been buying it for so long. I may add one more $1,000, and that's probably going to be my last buy right around here, unless it dips down lower. All right. And there you have it. Bitcoin continuing that head and shoulder pattern, breaking to the downside. All right. All right, everybody, I'm charted out. My hand hurts. All right. My hand hurts. All right. Yeah. Let's take a look at our baby ZETA chain. I just think ZETA is going to be huge for what it does. Oh, wow. Look at that thing. Just absolutely beaming. And that's out of control. Like, this is just unheard of stuff, you know? And look at that massive candle, too, for ZETA chain. It's crazy. It is crazy. Wow. And it consolidated here. I put this little flag out. It popped out of that flag. And everybody knows I was accumulating down here. I love this coin. I like the project. All right. You're the best liver. Have a great day. Shout out to Jenna X. We love you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Dang, I thought about it and it didn't go through. Jennifer Moffitt. Overuse injury. I know, right? Thank you, Sam. Hey, I can't believe all you stayed as long as you did. I really appreciate it. MYRO's in an Adam and Eve double bottom, man. So that's likely to make some gains. You know, I've seen that happen many a time. All right. Bitcoin's still kind of just going sideways. Now it looks like it's in a descending triangle, everybody. And you know how that story goes. All of us know how that story goes. It's a known story, right? And it's the story called the goodbye story to the downside, right? So, and that's Bart Simpson vibes. And we couldn't maintain above the 200 SMA. You see that? A few pumps, we got it. We never got the follow through. It is Thursday. We're approaching Thursday at 2 o'clock, where it's called the doldrums, right? Where the charts start to go pretty flat. That's a descending triangle. I would look for that to dump, Bart Simpson style, at least back to 52,000. That's my last call as I take a break from the charts. I have been in the charts since 7 in the morning, even like 6:45, one of my first posts. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you. I'll be back tonight with the weekly screen share in my whole group. I can't wait to do that, so let's do it. I love everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming. We had a great live stream, and I hope we have another one tomorrow. May God bless me with health, love, and happiness, and may the rest of your days go well. May God bless you with health, and happiness. So we may all be able to get back together tomorrow at the same time. I'm grateful for the time I had with each and every one of you, and I hope to have more. God bless. Thank you.